deadly mobile game. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 451, Confidentiality Issues. This is just an ordinary medical cabin for quarantine. There are more advanced medical cabins on the spacecraft that can be used for parasite treatment, but Captain Luo's key is required. Mint's communicator heard Jin's complaint and explained to him, but the key. Luo Ye looked embarrassed. She may not have a deep experience of what Jin Ke said about dying in the game and dying in reality, so she was still a little confused about Jin Ke's current experience and did not know the seriousness of the matter. I may not be able to take care of Xue'er anymore. Xue'er will be left to you in the future, Jin Ke said to Luo Ye. What are you talking about? It's just a game. Can't you just quit the game? Luo Ye really didn't realize the seriousness of the matter. This is not just a game. When I entered the game, the first player I played with, Tao Mu, died inexplicably on the street because he molested an NPC. There is also a player named Luo Jing who didn't play the game well and took the initiative to resign from the studio. The studio turned him into an NPC in the game. As a result, he became stupid in the real world, and his soul was trapped in the character in the game, staying in the ecological park, constantly doing all kinds of dirty and hard work. There is also a civil servant Luo Chun, who died in the darkness of the night because he didn't get back to the base in time before dark in the game. A few hours later, he was attacked and killed by gangsters near the subway station in the real world. This game is known as the most terrifying game in history. It is because if you die in the game, you will also die in reality. I guess I can't pass this level. If I die in the game, I will also die in the real world. So Xue'er, I have to trouble you to take care of me. I really didn't expect it. My life, unexpectedly, ended like this. I thought I would become the most powerful man in the entire universe, a man at the top of the food chain. I didn't expect to die from a tiny mosquito. Jin Ke's mood now is the same as Luo Shitan's mood at the beginning. Very unwilling. Don't be like this. It's not that serious, right? Luo Ye finally began to worry. It is indeed that serious. I have always been cautious, but some things are really hard to guard against. This is God's will to destroy me. Jin Ke was heartbroken. Mint, can't you think of another way? Luo Ye turned to Mint. Only if you remember the key can you open more cabins, find more advanced medical equipment, and treat him. Mint answered Luo Ye. Master Brain, I apply for key retrieval or reset in the name of the deputy captain. Jin Ke suddenly asked the Master Brain. Captain Luo must personally apply for key retrieval. The Master Brain answered Jin Ke. Okay, I apply for key retrieval. Luo Ye heard what Jin Ke said, and hurriedly asked the Master Brain, please answer the 3 security questions you set yourself. Only when you answer correctly can you retrieve or reset the key. The Master Brain answered Luo Ye. Okay, please ask. Luo Ye didn't expect Jin Ke's method to be so effective. It seemed that he was indeed much smarter than her. The first question, what is Jin Ke's true identity? Please answer, the main brain asked. Xue'er's father. Wrong answer, my husband. Luo Ye hesitated for a moment and thought of another answer. Wrong answer, the assassin who assassinated the king of Qin. Luo Ye had a sudden idea. Wrong answer, what is your true identity? Luo Ye had to ask Jin Ke. Otaku, an ordinary game player. Jin Ke thought of an identity. Luo Ye answered the pig brain according to Jin Ke's statement, but the answer was still wrong. Ask him the second question. Jin Ke could only give up the first question temporarily. What is the second question? Luo Ye asked the main brain. All 3 questions must be answered correctly to reset the key. As long as one answer is wrong, you don't have to answer the next 2 questions. The main brain answered Luo Ye. Luo Ye looked at Jin Ke helplessly. Let it report the last 2 questions. I'll see what's going on. Maybe I can find some connection and guess the answer. Jin Ke thought about it and asked Luo Ye. I ask you to report the last 2 questions. Luo Ye relayed Jin Ke's statement to the main brain. The second question, what is the relationship between you and Jin Ke? The main brain asked the second security question. Lovers. Luo Ye was silent for a moment before speaking. Wrong answer, husband and wife. Wrong answer, Classmates. Wrong answer. Luo Ye's 3 consecutive answers were rejected. Sexual partner. Jin Ke also made a random guess. Although your answer is invalid, it is also wrong. The main brain answered Jin Ke. Luo Ye looked at Jin Ke in the medical cabin with a strange look. I'm just guessing, trying various things. Don't think too much. Jin Ke had to explain a few words to Luo Ye. I didn't think too much. Luo Ye turned his head away. Luo Ye and Jin Ke were at a loss now. Even they themselves did not know what the relationship between them was. Who was the person who said the security questions? Luo Ye's previous life. What about the third question? Luo Ye had to turn to the next question. The third question. What is your and Jin Ke's mission? The main brain asked Luo Ye. Protect Xue'er and let her grow up healthily. Wrong answer. Secret keeper. Wrong answer. Luo Ye could not figure it out, so he had to ask Jin Ke for help again. There is a problem with this spaceship. A big problem. Jin Ke was no longer entangled in the key. What's the problem? When I first came to the spaceship, the main brain did not know me, but your 3 security questions are all related to me. This is a bit unreasonable, right? Jin Ke snorted coldly. Yes, Mint. How do you explain this? The conversation turned to Mint. The security questions were all designed by Captain Luo, and I can't answer the questions you raised. Mint, you seem to have some problems. Jin Ke felt something was wrong. Mint was silent. I went down to that planet with you. Why do mosquitoes only bite me and not you? Jin Ke asked his question. My body's biochemical tissue has been modified and is different from that of ordinary people. The mosquitoes on this planet may not be interested in my flesh and blood. Bo answered Jin Ke. Really? Jin Ke was very dissatisfied with Bo's answer, but he couldn't say anything for the time being. What should we do now? Are you really in trouble? Luo Ye began to worry. Jin Ke didn't answer Luo Ye's question, and seemed to be in a daze in the medical cabin. Chapter 452. Everything is ready. Jin Ke was not really in a daze. He was communicating with his plug-in. Plug-in, it's time for you to come out now. You should have a way to help me kill these bugs in my body. The plug-in did not respond. Jin Ke circulated the energy in his body, rushing around, trying to kill the damn bugs in his body. It's true, circulating energy really worked. Jin Ke could even feel that his internal organs were all crawling with bugs. The half-centimeter long, very disgusting multi-legged bugs. The foot segments were deep into his internal organs. Soon Jin Ke felt that something was wrong. When he started to circulate the energy in his body, the energy in his body began to flow away crazily, and those bugs began to grow rapidly, from half a centimeter to 1 centimeter. It seems that they are absorbing the energy in his body, or feeding on the energy in his body, and growing crazily. The more Jin Ke circulated the energy in his body, the faster these bugs grew. He didn't dare to circulate the energy in his body anymore. It seems that this method can't deal with these damn bugs at all. Is he really going to die here? A man with a cheat. A man who has overcome numerous difficulties. A man who is about to reach the top of the food chain. Is his story going to end here? It is really unbelievable. In the end, it turned out to be such an ending. He thought his life would be a very exciting novel. Unexpectedly, it was ruined because of a mosquito. What should I do next? Luo Ye asked Jin Ke in a panic. What can I do? Wait for death. Jin Ke was very angry. Don't be like this. You are not a person who gives up easily. You still have to watch Xue'er grow up healthily and happily. She can't live without you. Luo Ye persuaded Jin Ke. Jin Ke was silent. Of course, he would not give up easily, but he had no choice when encountering such a thing. This was not a problem that could be solved by willpower. Why don't you quit the game and try? Luo Ye thought of a way. It's useless. If you die in the game world, whether you log in or not, it can't change the iron law that you will die in the real world. Jin Ke's body began to feel uncomfortable, and his internal organs felt extremely uncomfortable everywhere. Is there really no way out? I think you are a very smart person, and nothing can stump you. Luo Ye encouraged Jin Ke. Quit the game. Quit the game. Jin Ke muttered these words, and suddenly thought of something in his mind. Yes, that's it. It must be like this. Jin Ke seemed very excited. What's wrong? Have you thought of anything? Luo Ye asked Jin Ke hurriedly. I am a genius. Jin Ke was very proud. Have you thought of a solution? Yes, a complete solution. It uses the technology on the spacecraft. It's so simple, but only a smart person like me can think of it. Jin continued to be proud. But the technology of the spacecraft requires a key. Luo Ye still didn't quite understand. Your teleportation cabin here can teleport me here, and it can also teleport me back to where I was originally, right? Jin asked Luo Ye. Yes, according to the settings above, no matter where you are teleported from, you will return to your original location after teleporting back. That's it, you teleport me back. Jin told his plan. Is that so? Can it be solved? Luo Ye didn't seem to understand. Yes, completely solve it, completely eradicate it, just do what I say. By the way, the teleportation cabin must be completely isolated after I leave. Then let the main brain execute a very thorough cleaning procedure. Jin thought for a while and added a few more words. Okay. Although Luo Ye still didn't understand, she would definitely do what Jin said. After I leave, many small insects will appear in the teleportation cabin. Don't let them enter the interior of the spacecraft. Jin emphasized a few more times. The cabin is now isolated. After you leave, I will let the main brain execute a very thorough cleaning procedure. Luo Ye agreed to Jin. Jin's solution was very simple. Since he couldn't even bring the black rune weapon in his body during the transmission process, it was even more impossible for the foreign objects and bugs in his body to be transmitted with him. So now if he wanted to completely remove the bugs in his body, he could only use this extremely powerful transmission technology to help. Soon, everything was ready. Luo Ye operated the control console outside the transmission cabin and teleported Jin and the transmission cabin back from the spaceship. Jin was teleported from his villa number 17 in the real world to the spaceship, and of course he was teleported back to his villa number 17. After Jin left, hundreds of small bugs really appeared in the transmission cabin. They screamed in panic and crawled around on the surrounding cabin walls. Luo Ye immediately started the removal program of the spaceship's transmission cabin. The high temperature of several thousand degrees instantly burned all the organic matter in the transmission cabin into powder. After Jin was teleported back to his master bedroom, he felt a burning pain everywhere in his body. He rolled on the ground in pain. So many bugs were living in his internal organs, and they were suddenly cleared away, making his internal organs feel like a honeycomb. Pain is inevitable. Did it work? I saw that all the bugs were cleared away. What's wrong with you? It looks wrong. Luo Ye also quit the game, and looked at Jin with great concern. Send me to the hospital, Jin said to Luo Ye with great difficulty. What happened in the game really happened to you now? Luo Ye was shocked. Yes, stop talking nonsense. Send me to the hospital quickly. Check if I have internal bleeding. Jin gritted his teeth and said to Luo Ye. The pain he was feeling now was really not something that ordinary people could bear. Okay, I'll take you to the hospital right now. You must hold on. It's okay. Xue'er will protect you. After Luo Ye went out, she knocked hard on the doors of Bo He and Zhang Mengdai next to her. She couldn't get Jin into the car downstairs by herself, so she had to ask someone for help. Bo and Zhang Mengdai were obviously asleep. They were awakened by Luo Ye's knock on the door. After knowing what happened, they quickly followed Luo Ye to Jin's bedroom. The three of them supported Jin and helped him down to the first floor. Bo drove the car to the door, and Zhang Mengdai and Luo Ye helped Jin into the car. Bo stepped on the accelerator and quickly sent Jin to the nearby People's Hospital. Chapter 453. Who am I? We have never seen this kind of disease before. All the internal organs have become honeycomb-shaped, as if there are dozens or more internal bleeding points. The amount of bleeding is small, but the total amount is amazing. A normal patient would have died in this state. It is a miracle that he can still breathe. In his current condition, he should have surgery to suture the injuries to his internal organs. However, none of the experts in our hospital have seen this kind of disease. No one dares to operate. Even if they do, they don't know how to treat it. May I ask what the patient has experienced before? Why did his internal organs become like this? After a series of examinations, the doctors at the People's Hospital introduced Jin's condition to Luo Ye, Bo He and others. Is there really no way to cure it? Luo Ye was really anxious now. I didn't expect that the injuries in the game would really be brought to the real world. Of course, this would not happen to ordinary players. Even if they died in the game, They would die several hours later in the real world. But Jin Ke was different. He didn't quit the game at all. I don't know how to treat it. At least our hospital can't do it. You can consider transferring to some larger hospitals to see if there are any doctors who have seen this disease. However, I'm afraid he can't stand the tossing and turning in this condition. The more internal bleeding he has, the more blood he will bleed. The doctor looked helpless. Let the doctor go out. I have something to tell you. Jin Ke gritted his teeth, endured the severe pain, and asked Luo Ye and the other two. After the doctor left, Jin Ke asked the three to pull up the curtain beside the bed. He called Zhang Mengdai over and said a few words, and then asked Zhang Mengdai to step out of the curtain. What did he say to you? Luo Ye asked Zhang Mengdai with concern. Unexpectedly, Jin Ke's last words were to Zhang Mengdai. He thought of a way to save himself. My master is really a genius. Zhang Mengdai answered Luo Ye. What way? Luo Ye asked again. Let me teleport once. Zhang Mengdai opened the mobile game Horror City, logged in, and sent a teleportation command to Jin Ke at the teleportation platform. After Jin Ke confirmed it, he was teleported to the Nightmare Castle. After arriving at the Nightmare Castle, Zhang Mengdai followed Jin Ke's instructions and dragged him to the energy supply device on the opposite side. This was the solution Jin Ke thought of. This energy supply device is like a fountain in the battlefield. As long as you stay in it, your health and energy will be full instantly. A dying person like him should be cured by staying in it. Ideals are full, but reality is very skinny. This device can replenish health, but it has no healing effect. Jin Ke's internal bleeding still can't be stopped. This should be the bleeding debuff. Going to the pharmacy to buy a dispelling potion should be effective, right? Jin Ke pondered for a while and asked Zhang Mengdai to help him go to the pharmacy to buy a potion to dispel the debuff. The problem is, there is no debuff logo on his head at all, and it is useless to use a dispelling potion. Real technology can't cure his disease. Nightmare Castle can't heal him either. He relied on his intelligence to remove the bugs in his body, but he never expected that the wounds caused by these bugs would take his life. Maybe there is another place that can save Jin Ke. It is the medical equipment at the Moss Mountain base. The medical technology there is much more advanced than that in the real world. However, he has no way to return to the base now. This is really the end of the road. Is he really going to die? Is his story really going to end badly? No, there must be a way. It's just that he hasn't thought of that way yet. Seeing that he was about to die, Jin Ke asked Zhang Mengdai to teleport him back to the real world. The amount of bleeding inside his body has exceeded the limit that ordinary people can bear. It's a miracle that he hasn't fainted from blood loss. What we can do now is to perform surgery on him, guide the bleeding in his body, and then try to give him a blood transfusion to see if he can clot his blood on his own. But we can't guarantee that he can survive this operation. The doctor introduced Jin Ke's condition to Luo Ye, Bo He, Zhang Mengdai and others. Is it so serious? Doctor, you must save his life. No matter how much money it costs. What medicines are needed? What advanced medical equipment is needed? Just ask. Luo Ye begged the doctor. This is not a matter of money, but a matter of modern medical technology. The doctor was also helpless. Bring Xue'er here. I want to see Xue'er for the last time. Jin Ke explained his funeral affairs very weakly. When Luo Ye brought Xue'er from the Weilan home community to the hospital, Jin Ke had already fainted. The doctor wanted to perform the operation and asked the family members to sign. Of course, only a Luo Ye could sign this. After signing, Jin Ke was pushed into the operating room. Darkness, eternal darkness. Where am I? Who am I? What do I want to do? Why am I here? After a trance, 6 people appeared in a room. They didn't know each other now. What's worse, they didn't even remember who they were. You must be wondering why you are here, right? A voice appeared in the air. Who are you? Why are you talking to us? A woman in her 30s asked the ceiling. You can call me the god of death, or you can call me the black and white impermanence. The 6 of you here are actually already dead. The good news is that due to some special reasons, you have been given a second chance at life. As long as you play a game, you may be able to return to the world of the living. The bad news is that only one of you 6 can get this chance. Here are the rules of the game. The 6 of you here are divided into 2 camps. Let's call them the quantum camp and the biochemical camp. After the game starts, You will know which camp you are in, but you don't know which camp the others are in. The two camps are hostile to each other. Kill someone from the enemy camp and you will get 1 point for each kill. Anyone who attacks or kills someone from your own camp will be eliminated immediately. The person with the highest score will win in the end. If your score is still 0 before 12 noon tomorrow, you will also be eliminated. In order to make it easier for you to distinguish yourself, you will be numbered after the game starts. Of course, during the game, you will also find information about yourself and figure out who you are. You will also find a variety of weapons and items to help you win. Chapter 454 Heavy Rain. Okay, in 5 minutes, the game will officially begin. This is your last chance to return to the world. I hope you will cherish this opportunity. Good luck to you. After the voice stopped, the 6 people in the room looked at each other. Almost at the same time as the voice stopped, a bright red number appeared on the white t-shirts worn by each person. From number 1 to number 6. Number 1 is a teenager with a very cold expression. Number 2 is a woman in her 30s. Number 3 is a young man in his 20s. Number 4 is an old man with gray hair and beard. Number 5 is also a teenager, but his expression is very gentle. Number 6 is a young girl. Everyone knows which camp they belong to. The 6 people are in a room with a closed door. There are 6 chairs against the wall of the room, and everyone sits on one of the chairs. Everyone, I suggest that we don't care about the game or the rules of the game. We should unite and find a way to leave this hellhole. If we succeed in leaving here, maybe we can all survive. The 30-year-old middle-aged woman spoke up and gave everyone some suggestions. Well, I support the view of this elder sister. We must not believe what the voice said. Let's kill each other. We will definitely find a way to leave here together. The 20-year-old young man supported the 30-year-old woman's statement. That's right. It's ridiculous to say that we are dead. Dead people can still sit here and talk, and can still feel the world around them. The gentle young man spoke up. I don't think it's that simple. The old man with a white beard also spoke up. I want to look around first to see if I can find an exit to escape from here. Is there anyone who wants to join me? The 30-year-old woman stood up. I'll go with you. The 20-year-old young man also stood up. The gentle young man, the young girl, and the white-bearded old man also stood up, ready to go out and explore with the 30-year-old woman and the 20-year-old young man. The cold-faced boy number 1 had not spoken, but after everyone else stood up, he also stood up and followed everyone out of the room. Outside was a hall that looked like the first-floor hall of a villa. The curtains in the hall were all drawn, and the door was tightly closed. The chandelier on the top of the center of the hall looked very luxurious and bright. There were several sofas in the center of the hall, and in the middle of the sofas was a coffee table. On the coffee table were various drinks and snacks. When the girl saw the drinks and snacks, she immediately ran over, took out a piece of chocolate from one of the bags of snacks, peeled off the wrapping paper and stuffed it into her mouth. Don't eat anything carelessly. How do you know if this food is poisoned? The 30-year-old woman wanted to stop the girl, but it was too late. No way. Poisoned the chocolate? The girl looked confused, and after a moment, she quickly spit out the chocolate from her mouth. I think you are too suspicious. These snacks can't be poisoned. Since the organizer asked us to play the game, how can we continue to play the game if we are poisoned like this? The gentle boy looked disapproving. At this moment, the girl suddenly fell to the ground, holding her stomach, screaming in pain, and her body twitched. When everyone saw the girl's reaction to food poisoning, they couldn't help but show panic and fear on their faces. The gentle boy looked extremely embarrassed. Just said there was no poison. Who knew these foods were really poisonous? The 30-year-old woman hurriedly stepped forward, turned the girl's body over, and reached into her mouth, trying to induce her vomiting reaction. But the girl's mouth was tightly closed, and she didn't let True put his finger in at all. Don't. Ha 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 ha. I'm just kidding you. The girl suddenly laughed and pushed the 30-year-old woman away. This joke is really not funny. I was almost scared to death by you. The 30-year-old woman seemed a little unhappy. Just liven up the atmosphere. Why are you so serious? The girl looked disapproving. You're really pretending. I almost got fooled by you. The gentle boy rolled his eyes at the girl. Everyone, please stop making trouble, okay? Now we need to work together to find a way to leave here. Try not to make such jokes. The 30-year-old woman said a few more words to the girl. The girl snorted, still with a look of disapproval on her face. I hope everyone will listen to her, no matter whether what the voice said is true or false. We really need to find a way to leave here first. The 20-year-old young man also advised everyone. After the 6 people reached a consensus, they followed the 30-year-old woman to the door, ready to push the door open and see what was happening outside. When the 30-year-old woman was about to open the door, she suddenly hesitated again. When I open the door, you all step back and make way. I don't know if there will be any danger outside. The 30-year-old woman turned around and said to everyone, Big sister, you should also pay attention to safety. The 20-year-old young man showed a caring expression to the 30-year-old woman. I will, thank you. The 30-year-old woman smiled gently at the 20-year-old young man. After seeing everyone step back, she slowly opened the door to the lobby on the first floor. The door opened, and a cold wind mixed with rain blew in from outside, making everyone shiver. It was raining heavily outside the door. It was dark outside the door. There were lightning and thunder in the sky. The wind was also very strong. The wind rolled up the raindrops, and under the reflection of the lights in the villa, it turned into various images, which looked extremely hideous. There is no way to go out like this, unless the rain stops. The 20-year-old young man walked to the 30-year-old woman with an anxious expression on his face. First we need to find something to keep out the rain. The 30-year-old woman looked at the heavy rain outside and thought for a while. You are just doing something in vain. The cold-blooded boy who had not spoken all the time spoke. Why do you think so? The 30-year-old woman turned around and asked the cold-blooded boy kindly. Since the owner of this villa has set the rules of the game and asked us to play this game, he will definitely restrict us from leaving. This rainstorm is formed to prevent us from leaving. If you insist on entering the rainstorm, I estimate that you will most likely be struck by lightning. Of course, I am just guessing and suggesting. It is up to you whether you listen or not. The cold-blooded boy answered the 30-year-old woman. Then let's wait until the rain stops. Such heavy rain can't keep falling. The 30-year-old woman sighed when she saw the rain outside. The rain will not stop. This rainstorm will keep falling until noon tomorrow, until we decide the winner. The cold-blooded boy also walked over and looked at the rainstorm outside. Chapter 455 Candy Paper. It was raining heavily outside, and there were lightning and thunder. It was not a good time to go out and investigate. The 6 people could only retreat to the villa for the time being, sitting around the sofa, eating various snacks and discussing the current situation. This candy is delicious. I'll introduce it to you. Hey, there are words written inside the candy wrapper. The person who opens this candy wrapper is not from the biochemical camp. What does it mean? After peeling a candy, the girl spoke loudly to the others. The other 5 people looked at the girl silently. Oh! The girl seemed to realize something and quickly covered her mouth with her hand. I know that several of you are from the biochemical camp, but I don't want to see us killing each other. From now on, I will not let her out of my sight and protect her safety. The 30-year-old woman spoke after thinking for a while. Protect her? How do we know which camp you are from? Maybe you are from the biochemical camp. You said you want to protect her safety, but who knows if you want to take advantage of the opportunity to get points. The cold boy snorted. Burn a candy wrapper. They don't know that the content on it is made up by you. As long as no one sees the content on the candy wrapper, they dare not risk their lives to kill you. The old man with a white beard took a lighter and lit it, and took the candy wrapper from the girl's hand and burned it. Old man, you are really smart. You pretended to help burn the candy wrapper, but you took the opportunity to sneak a peek at the content on the candy wrapper. Now, probably only you know what is written on the candy wrapper, right? The cold-blooded boy immediately exposed the old man with a white beard. Young man, don't think that everyone is so dark. We just really want to help her. The 30-year-old woman was a little dissatisfied with the cold-blooded boy's statement. Is the content written on this candy wrapper necessarily true? Have you ever thought that the content on the candy wrapper was written in advance? If she and I are not in the same camp, and I happen to peel this candy, then the content on the candy wrapper is wrong? So, don't be confused by these so-called clues. Maybe these so-called clues are just the game manipulators who force us to kill each other. The 20-year-old young man spoke. Not killing each other, don't fool yourself. At noon tomorrow, when you find that someone has already scored, and your own score is still 0 and you will definitely die, I believe no one will sit and wait for death. Okay, you guys chat slowly. I'm going to look for clues. The cold-faced boy picked up a few bags of snacks and 2 bottles of drinks, turned and walked to the stairs and went up to the second floor. Young people, alas, the 30-year-old woman sighed. Don't you think you should look around the house first? Maybe you can find clues to survive together. The 20-year-old young man proposed to the remaining few people. Did you read the contents of the candy wrapper just now? The 30-year-old woman asked the white-bearded old man. How can I be so bored? I just wanted to help her burn the candy wrapper. The old man shook his head. Your identity has been exposed. There are 3 people who may attack you at any time. If you need, I can accompany you at any time to prevent them from hurting you. The 30-year-old woman turned to the girl again. Really? How can I believe that you are kind? What if you want to find an opportunity to kill me for points? The girl remembered what the cold-blooded boy said, and looked at the 30-year-old woman with a vigilant look. I really want to organize us. Let us unite together, fight against the manipulator behind this so-called game, and then survive and leave here together. But I didn't expect human nature to be so complicated. The 30-year-old woman sighed. Come on, why are you pretending to be a saint? I despise people like you the most. Little girl, if you want to live, you'd better stay away from that woman. She is very scheming. The voice of the cold-blooded boy came from the railing on the second floor. Social morality is corrupted by people like you. The 30-year-old woman looked at the cold-blooded boy at the railing on the second floor angrily. TSK, you are so shameless. Forget it. I'm too lazy to argue with a fake saint like you, but no matter what, I will find a way to be the only one who leaves alive. The cold-blooded boy waved his hand and walked into a room on the second floor to look for clues. If he keeps looking for clues like this, he will figure out our identities and the factions we belong to sooner or later, and then attack us to get points. We can't just sit there and wait for death. Let's act quickly, right? The 20-year-old young man looked at the 30-year-old woman, feeling that he seemed to have regarded her as the leader here. Are there anyone willing to act with us? In this environment, it's best for everyone to be together. If you often watch horror movies, you will find that people who are alone always die first, and people who unite together can live longer. The 30-year-old woman looked at everyone. I don't believe you. I decided to act alone. The girl thought for a while and answered the 30-year-old woman. I think people like you are the first to get into trouble and die in horror movies. The gentle boy looked at the girl and laughed. Why do you curse me? Have I offended you? Are you sick? The girl glared at the gentle boy. Forget it. I was scolded for my kindness. I'll speak less in the future. The gentle boy looked helpless. I'm going to find a place to sleep. The girl took a few bags of snacks and 2 cans of drinks from the coffee table and held them in her arms, then walked towards the stairs. This person's IQ is really low. The gentle boy muttered softly. Do you really think she's stupid? You're the real fool. The old man with a white beard looked at the gentle boy with a smile. Old man, why do you say that to me? The gentle boy looked unconvinced. How do you know she's not pretending to be stupid? There's nothing written on her candy wrapper. What will happen if she deliberately says her camp? She said she doesn't belong to the biochemical camp, so others will think she's in the quantum camp. People in the quantum camp will definitely not kill her, and they dare not kill her. People in the biochemical camp may take the initiative to attack her, and end up being eliminated. The old man with a white beard gave the gentle boy a few hints. Can you still play like this? The gentle boy looked surprised. You can't have the intention to harm others, but you must be on guard against others. I didn't expect this little girl to be so scheming. The 20-year-old young man sighed. Why are people's hearts so complicated? I'm really scared by what you say. The little girl can't be like what you said. It's too much. The 30-year-old woman looked a little surprised after hearing what the old man with white beard said. Chapter 456 Indifference. Old man, you said that there was nothing written on her candy wrapper. Could it be that you deliberately lied to us? In this case, only you and she know which camp she really belongs to. If you are not in the same camp as her, Wouldn't you have taken her points for sure? The gentle boy was inspired by the old man and his mind was opened. The world is so complicated. The 20-year-old young man sighed again. I don't think I can trust any of you here. I'd better act alone. After the gentle boy finished speaking, he also got up and left with a few bags of snacks and 2 cans of drinks. Old man? The 30-year-old woman looked at the old man with gray beard. The team of 6 people that was originally envisioned to be united was reduced to only half in a blink of an eye. Hee, I'm old and my legs are inconvenient, so I won't hold you back. The old man with gray beard picked up a few bags of snacks and drinks, stood up, and staggered towards the stairs. Why is no one willing to be with me? Is there something wrong with my idea of organizing everyone to fight against the manipulator behind the game? The 30-year-old woman frowned. It's because they are too dark-minded. Don't blame yourself too much. The 20-year-old young man comforted the 30-year-old woman. Are you willing to follow me? The 30-year-old woman looked at the 20-year-old young man. Somehow, I feel that among all people, you are the only good person. I am willing to follow you. The 20-year-old young man nodded to the 30-year-old woman. Thank you for your trust in me. This society is so cold and indifferent. Trust between people has become extremely precious. The 30-year-old woman looked very grateful. Why? The 20-year-old young man looked thoughtful. What do you want to ask? The 30-year-old woman looked at the 20-year-old young man. I want to ask why you said this society is so cold and indifferent. Trust between people has become extremely precious. Haven't we lost all our memories? Why do you feel that society is cold? The 20-year-old young man looked confused. I don't know either. Anyway, I have this view. I can't explain why. The 30-year-old woman also became a little confused. They have all started looking for clues. So let's go look for clues too. What if they know our identities and we don't know theirs? Then we won't be able to protect ourselves. The 20-year-old young man asked the 30-year-old woman, if we find clues and find out that we belong to different camps, what will you do? The 30-year-old woman did not stand up immediately, but asked the 20-year-old young man, even if we belong to different camps, I will continue to be your partner. The 20-year-old young man assured the 30-year-old woman, you think the same as I do. Even if we don't belong to the same camp, I won't hurt you. I hope we can find a way to leave together alive, and I believe that as long as we have faith, we will definitely find it. The 30-year-old woman clenched her fist. If by noon tomorrow, we both still have 0 points, and you and I don't belong to the same camp, then you have a gun in your hand, and you can win and be the only one to leave alive as long as you shoot. What will you do? The 20-year-old young man asked the 30-year-old woman again. I will give a gun to you and let you choose. The 30-year-old woman answered the 20-year-old young man. I find that our moral values are so compatible. The 20-year-old young man was somewhat touched. Yes, I also feel like I've known you for a long time. The 30-year-old woman also sighed. Let's hurry up and look for clues. In order to stop the killing of each other, we must also grasp more clues. The 20-year-old young man stood up. We should also take these snacks and drinks. There may be clues in them. Look at those people. They all took one and left without making a sound. The 30-year-old woman reminded the 20-year-old young man a few words. Well, that makes sense. You are more careful. The 20-year-old young man nodded. They are so united. If we team up with them, are we looking for death? Old man, I said I was leaving just now. In fact, I have been waiting for you here. Among these people, you are the one I trust the most. How about we team up? The gentle young man waiting at the stairs on the 2nd floor proposed to the old man with gray beard. Okay, young man, you have a bright brow and sharp eyebrows. You look like you are going to save the world. I will follow you. The old man with a white beard laughed. Big brother, have you found anything? The girl came to the side of the cold boy. You'd better not follow me. I'm not in the same camp as you, and you can't beat me. I can turn you into points at any time. The cold boy drove the girl away. There's actually nothing written on the candy wrapper. I just said that on purpose. Do you really believe it? The girl disagreed with the boy's words. Are you so smart? I don't think so. Are you saying these words now to make up for it? The cold boy snorted. Then why don't you kill me to get points? It means that you are not sure in your heart which camp I am in. right? The girl provoked the cold boy, with a hint of pride in her expression. I'm too lazy to play this boring word game with you, and I'm not interested in sharing any information with you, so you should play alone and don't bother me. The cold boy continued to drive the girl away. If you say so, I will stick with you. If you have the guts, why don't you kill me? The girl didn't want to leave. The cold-blooded boy raised his hand as if he wanted to hit someone, but in the end he did nothing and continued to look for his own clues. Actually, I can see that among these people, you are the smartest. I am lazy and too lazy to think or look for clues. But you are different. You are very smart and good at finding clues. Following you, as long as you find clues, I can see that if you dare to attack me, you will be eliminated. The girl looked very proud. There are so many brainless women in this society now. The cold-blooded boy shook his head. I know you want to piss me off, but I'm not angry. The girl ate candy and followed the cold-blooded boy closely. The rain outside seems to have stopped. The 30-year-old woman stood by the window, opened the curtains and looked around, then said to the 20-year-old young man, "It's just a little smaller, right? There's still lightning, you see. When the lightning lit up just now, there were trees outside. It would be very dangerous to stay outside in this situation." The 20-year-old young man walked over and looked out the window. Chapter 457 Clippings. Then let's continue to look for clues in the room. The 30-year-old woman continued to search in the room. Well, I think if we want to stop them from killing each other, we must first have enough clues ourselves. The 20-year-old young man nodded. This world is really crazy. Is that teenage girl innocent, or is she as scheming as they say? I can't see through it. The 30-year-old woman sighed. She should be innocent, but I feel that her personality is a bit weird, especially rebellious. If you are nice to her, she doesn't think you are nice. That boy who always acts cold is not a good thing, but she just wants to get together with him. The 20-year-old young man also had some feelings. I think your thoughts look mature, much more mature than your age. The 30-year-old woman looked at the 20-year-old young man with admiration. I don't know. I always feel that I have experienced more than I thought, and I also feel that I may not be this age. Hey, there is an envelope here. See what is written inside. The 20-year-old young man found an envelope. Well, let's see if there are any clues in it. The 30-year-old woman also came closer and looked at the envelope in his hand. There is a piece of paper in the envelope, and it says, "Players who see this line of words, please do not believe the companion standing next to you at this moment. He is completely different from what he shows. He is best at disguise in his life." The 20-year-old young man looked at the 30-year-old woman beside him. "Are you talking about me?" The 30-year-old woman looked a little embarrassed. "It's the male character he, not the female character she. You are not talking about me, right?" The 20-year-old young man also looked a little embarrassed. It seems that this is a meaningless paragraph, not a useful clue at all. It deliberately makes people who find this clue together suspicious of each other. If we believe these so-called clues and have suspicion and distrust between each other, we will really be fooled. The 30-year-old woman analyzed it. "I think so too. Although it's the first time I met you, you gave me a very friendly feeling. I will trust you unconditionally. No matter what clues I see, I will not be affected by it." The 20-year-old young man's expression was solemn. "I'm very happy to meet you here. I believe that as long as we unite and trust each other, we can definitely survive together." "I think so too. Only by giving unconditional trust to others can you get unconditional trust from others, and you are the one I trust the most." The two looked at each other for a few seconds before continuing to search. "You seem to have found something?" The gentle boy came to the old man with a white beard. "Some strange clippings." The old man put a notebook on the table in front of him. There were some newspaper clippings in the notebook. The first article was about a policeman who was undercover in a drug trafficking organization. Unfortunately, his identity was exposed. He was tortured by the drug trafficking organization for 3 days and 3 nights and unfortunately died. Are there still such good people now? It looks too fake. It can't be a made-up story. The gentle boy looked disdainful. Who knows? Maybe there are. There are always some people whose sense of justice has not been extinguished. The old man with a white beard turned to the next page. There was also a press release on this page. It said that 3 naughty children were throwing stones on the roof. and a stone thrown by one of them just happened to hit a woman who was passing by downstairs to death. This woman happened to be the wife of the policeman who was undercover in the drug trafficking organization. On the day of the funeral, more than 1,000 citizens spontaneously sent the woman off. The third press release was about a reporter who became famous for interviewing an accident and exposing the responsibilities of many people behind a major accident. For a while, many people who suffered injustice found him and asked him to help defend their rights. The reporter became a famous justice person and a big V on Weibo. He often comments on current events and expresses his own opinions on Weibo. Every time he posts a Weibo, there will be hundreds of thousands of fans who like it. But a few years later, this reporter was found to have used press releases to extort huge amounts of money from some companies and individuals. What's the meaning of these clippings? They have nothing to do with our game, right? The gentle boy was confused. We all lost our memories and don't know who we are. Maybe these people in the news are the people in us. For example, I am the justice policeman who was undercover in the drug trafficking organization and unfortunately died, and the 30-year-old woman is the reporter who pretended to be righteous. The old man with a white beard stroked his beard and speculated, "Ha ha ha, you're the only policeman. You're still undercover at this age. Who are you trying to fool?" But it's possible that the woman you said was the reporter. The gentle boy laughed. Besides me, who else can fit the description of this righteous policeman? You 3 boys and girls? That young man in his 20s? None of them fit the description, and I have such a strong sense of justice. It must be me. The old man with white beard continued to stroke his beard. Then what's the matter with the second report? The policeman's wife was killed by a naughty kid throwing stones? What does it have to do with us? Can you analyze it? The gentle boy looked at the old man with white beard unconvinced. 3 naughty kids. I think it's you 3. You accepted the punishment, so you were dragged into this game. The old man with white beard smiled at the gentle boy. Stop talking nonsense. No matter how you look at it, we are all over the age of naughty kids, and I will never do such a thing. The gentle boy was very dissatisfied with the old man with white beard. Just as the two were talking nonsense, a scream suddenly came from the hall on the first floor outside. The two of them rushed to the railing outside and looked towards the first floor. They found that the girl had fallen in a pool of blood. The 30-year-old woman and the 20-year-old young man also rushed out of the room and looked at the girl lying on the ground in the hall on the first floor. Then the 30-year-old woman quickly went down the stairs and ran to the girl to check her injuries. The girl was unconscious, and the blood was flowing from her head, but her hair was very long, so the wound could not be found for the time being. The 20-year-old young man followed by the old man with gray beard and the gentle young man. She is seriously injured and needs to be sent to the hospital immediately. The 30-year-old woman frowned. Who did it? The 20-year-old young man looked at the old man with gray beard and the gentle young man. It's not me. He can prove it for me. The gentle young man quickly distanced himself from the truth. Chapter 458 Monitoring Room. Do I need to say who it is? The murderer must not dare to show up now. The old man with gray beard also spoke. Are you talking about me? The cold-faced boy appeared at the railing on the second floor and looked at the people downstairs coldly. We have been together all the time, and we can prove each other. They are also together, and they can also prove each other. He is her, and it seems that he has been with you all the time. The 30-year-old woman looked at the cold-faced boy angrily. Well, even if I attacked her, what can you do? The cold-faced boy snorted and walked away. There is a surveillance camera in the room. As long as we find where the surveillance room is, we can find out who attacked her just now. The 30-year-old woman looked around the 4 corners of the hall. Then let's go to the surveillance room quickly. The old man with gray beard nodded. She is too seriously injured and is still bleeding. We must find a way to save her. Other things can only be put aside for now. The 20-year-old youth put forward a different opinion. The rain outside is much lighter than before. I will go out to see if I can find a vehicle or something to take her to the hospital. The 30-year-old woman stood up. It's too dangerous outside. Let us men do the investigation. You stay here to guard her, and we'll go see what's going on outside. The 20-year-old youth stopped the woman. Wait, I didn't agree to go out with you. Don't represent me like this. The gentle young man expressed his dissatisfaction with the young man's use of the word we. Old man, are you willing to go with me? The 20-year-old youth turned to the old man with gray beard. Okay, let's go out and see, but if there is any danger, it's better to return as soon as possible. The old man with gray beard replied to the 20-year-old youth. Why do I feel that this is a conspiracy? The two of them killed her, and then separated the two of us and defeated each of us? The gentle young man's imagination was open. Are you bored? Don't waste time talking. If you're late, she will lose too much blood and can't be saved. The 30-year-old woman looked very anxious. Let's go. The old man with gray beard patted the gentle young man on the head, and then followed the 20-year-old youth out of the villa hall. The rain outside was indeed much lighter. There was no thunder for a long time. The villa was built in a forest, and no one knew where the electricity and water came from. After going out, there was a forest all around. Suddenly, a roar of wild beasts came from the nearby forest. Then a tiger more than 1 meter tall walked out of the jungle slowly, staring at the three people here. Oh my God, such a big tiger! The gentle boy was so scared that he turned and fled back to the villa hall. When the gentle boy ran, the tiger, who was originally staring at this place, suddenly chased here. The 20-year-old young man and the old man with gray beard also turned and fled back to the villa. After entering the villa hall, they immediately turned around and closed the door of the villa hall. However, before the door was closed, the tiger rushed over, roaring and pushing the door hard, trying to get into the villa. Come and help, it's coming in. None of us can survive. The 20-year-old young man pushed the door hard and shouted to the gentle boy who was running away. I don't want to be eaten by him. The gentle young man ran to the second floor without stopping. The 30-year-old woman who was watching over the girl rushed to the door and helped the two men at the door to hold the door together. Finally, with the joint efforts of the three people, the big iron door of the villa was closed, and the 20-year-old young man quickly turned the door lock. After the tiger hit the door a few more times, it found that it could not be opened, and then there was no sound, and it seemed to have gone far away. The three people breathed a sigh of relief and collapsed on the ground. What kind of monster is outside? The 30-year-old woman asked the 20-year-old young man. The situation was urgent just now, and she didn't see clearly what was rushing in from outside, so she ran over to help. A big tiger. The 20-year-old young man answered the 30-year-old woman. Tiger? There is a tiger here? The 30-year-old woman was very surprised. This place is incredible, and it's not strange to see anything. The old man with a white beard disagreed. Fortunately, the windows have thick metal guardrails, otherwise it would be very dangerous for us to stay here. The 20-year-old man checked the window and had a lingering fear. These kids nowadays are so selfish and only care about themselves. The 30-year-old woman was obviously very disappointed with the gentle boy's performance just now. There's nothing we can do. A generation of spoiled only children are selfish, self-righteous, and rebellious. The 20-year-old young man also shook his head. I think your age is about the same as the three of them. The old man with a white beard chuckled twice. He is different. He is very mature. The 30-year-old woman disagreed with the old man with a white beard. How is her injury? The 20-year-old young man walked towards the girl on the ground. There is no more bleeding, and her breathing and heartbeat are still stable, but she is still unconscious. Let's not move her for the time being to avoid causing greater injuries. The 30-year-old woman answered the 20-year-old young man. Let's go find out where the monitoring room is. Maybe we can find the murderer who hurt her, so we can take precautions. By the way, are you with us? The 20-year-old young man looked at the old man with a white beard. No need to look for it. I have found the monitoring room and seen the surveillance video. The cold-blooded young man suddenly appeared at the guardrail on the third floor. Who is the murderer? The three people downstairs stood up. You will know after you see it yourself. The room behind me is the monitoring room, the cold-faced boy said, and walked to the room next to it. Let's go up and take a look. The 20-year-old youth asked the 30-year-old woman. Is it a trap? This boy looks suspicious. The 30-year-old woman frowned. He doesn't dare to attack us without knowing which camp we belong to. The 20-year-old youth answered the 30-year-old woman. After the two discussed it, the 20-year-old youth went to the third floor to check the surveillance. and the old man with gray beard decided to go with him. The 30-year-old woman continued to take care of the girl in the hall on the first floor to prevent her from being hurt again. The 20-year-old youth and the old man with gray beard quickly went up to the third floor and came to the room mentioned by the cold-faced boy. This room is indeed the monitoring room. There are several rows of screens hanging on the wall in the room, shooting non-stop at each room. As long as you find the screen corresponding to the camera facing the hall on the first floor and call up the previously filmed content, you can know to attack the girl. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 459 Mirror. Soon the 20-year-old youth found the surveillance video of the hall during the time when the girl was in trouble. From the video, the girl ran down from the upstairs in panic, screaming and looking back while running. From her expression, she seemed to have seen something that scared her. Because she was running and looking back, she accidentally slipped and fell on her head, and then she became like that. There was no thing chasing her in the surveillance video. The 20-year-old youth began to continue to search for other surveillance videos of the same time, but found nothing. It is very likely that she is playing a prank again. She has done this before, the old man with a gray beard speculated. She broke her head as a prank and bleeds so much. The 20-year-old youth disagreed with the old man with a gray beard. Who knows, maybe she just wanted to play a prank, scream a few times, and scare us. But she accidentally fell and was really hurt. The old man with a gray beard spread his hands. The boy who was with him should know something, such as how they separated and what happened before they separated. The 20-year-old youth looked at the surveillance video and thought, given his personality, I don't think he will say anything even if we ask him. The old man with white beard shook his head. Let's ask him first. If he doesn't say anything, then we can say something else. The 20-year-old youth was still very persistent. You ask me what happened with her? It's very simple. I wanted to explore alone, but she kept following me and wouldn't leave no matter how hard I tried. Later, about 2 minutes before she got into trouble, we entered a room with a large mirror in the room. I was looking for clues in that room, and she was admiring herself in front of the mirror in the room. Suddenly she looked at the mirror and screamed loudly. I walked over to take a look, but I didn't find anything. I wanted to ask her what happened, but she turned around and ran out of the room. I thought she was playing a prank again, so I didn't bother to pay attention to her. I didn't expect that she would get into trouble 2 minutes later. Later, I happened to search the monitoring room and watch the surveillance, but I didn't find anything unusual. That's what happened. Okay, I'm going to continue looking for clues. Please don't follow me. The cold-blooded young man answered the two and walked away. Old man, what do you think? The 20-year-old youth asked the old man with white beard. I always feel that with his personality, he won't be so honest to tell us so much in detail, which makes me feel that he is trying to cover up something. The old man with gray beard smiled. I think so too. I always feel that the girl's accident is related to him. The 20-year-old young man nodded. The two were about to return to the first floor hall to see the girl's current situation. When they passed a room, they saw a big mirror inside. Is this the place where the young man said the girl had an accident? A big mirror. The 20-year-old young man walked in. The old man with gray beard followed him in. Could there be something wrong with this mirror? The 20-year-old young man looked at the mirror and asked the old man with gray beard next to him. No one responded. Old man? The 20-year-old young man looked behind him. There was no one behind him. Old man? The 20-year-old young man couldn't help but feel a little strange. Didn't the old man come in with him just now? How come he disappeared in the blink of an eye? Forget it. Ignore him, or study what's going on with this mirror first. The 20-year-old young man turned around and looked at the mirror in front of him again. What he really didn't expect was that a female ghost with a bloody face and long hair appeared in the mirror, standing behind him. When the 20-year-old young man looked at the female ghost, one of her hands suddenly rested on his shoulder. The 20-year-old young man was caught off guard, screamed and was so scared that his soul left his body, and his whole body jumped up. What's wrong with you? The old man with a white beard looked at the 20-year-old young man in a strange way. You are. The 20-year-old young man looked at the old man with a white beard and couldn't say a complete sentence. What am I? The old man with a white beard had a strange expression. You are a ghost. The 20-year-old young man took the courage to look in the mirror again, and found that there was nothing unusual in the mirror. It was just him and the old man with a white beard standing in the room. Why did I become a ghost? The old man with a white beard frowned. Where did you go just now? The 20-year-old young man asked the old man with a white beard. I've been here all the time. The old man with a white beard looked even stranger. You disappeared just now, and then there was a female ghost standing behind me in the mirror, and she put her hand on my shoulder. The 20-year-old young man still felt creepy when he recalled the scene just now. I came in with you and have been standing here all the time. How could I leave? But you, after standing in front of the mirror, have been in a daze. I didn't respond to you when I talked to you. I had no choice but to pat your shoulder. I didn't expect you to react so strongly. The old man with a white beard shook his head. You said you have been standing here just now? Yes. Then let's go down and see how the girl is doing. The 20-year-old young man proposed to the old man with a white beard. Okay, go down. The old man with a white beard looked at the 20-year-old young man again, then turned and walked out the door. After seeing the old man with a white beard leave, the 20-year-old young man turned and looked at the mirror again. As a result, the female ghost appeared again. Moreover, she took a step forward and walked out of the mirror directly. The 20-year-old young man was so scared that he ran out of the room screaming and ran all the way downstairs. After going downstairs, he found that there was no one in the hall on the first floor. The 30-year-old woman, the old man with gray beard, and the girl lying on the ground had all disappeared. He was the only one in the whole hall. At a certain moment, he suddenly felt a chill on his back, as if he was being stared at by something. The 20-year-old young man subconsciously looked back. It turned out that the female ghost was standing by the guardrail on the third floor, looking at him with a gloomy expression. The young man still felt a sense of suffocation. He now had only one thought in his mind, that is, to escape from this place quickly. But just when he turned around and wanted to escape, he stumbled and fell to the hard ground of the hall on the first floor. Are you okay? The 20-year-old young man heard a gentle and caring word, and looked up to find that it was the 30-year-old woman who reached out to support him. The 20-year-old young man quickly turned his head and looked at the guardrail on the third floor. Chapter 460 Washing Hair. There was nothing beside the guardrail. The 20-year-old youth was shaking all over, unable to utter a word. You just ran down from the upstairs like crazy, just like the girl just now. You looked back upstairs with a terrified expression. I called you, but you ignored me, and then turned around and tried to run, but fell down. I rushed over and held you up. What happened? What horrible thing did you see? The 30-year-old woman told the 20-year-old youth what happened just now, and then looked at him strangely. You may not believe me if I tell you. The 20-year-old youth looked around. The girl was still lying on the ground, and the old man with a gray beard had just walked down the stairs. Tell me about it. The 30-year-old woman looked at the 20-year-old youth expectantly. The 20-year-old youth's behavior just now was exactly the same as that in the previous surveillance video of the girl. This means that the 20-year-old youth encountered the same thing as the girl. If we find out what happened to the 20-year-old youth, we can know what happened to the girl. That old man is a ghost, a female ghost in disguise. You must be careful. The 20-year-old young man said to the 30-year-old woman before the old man came over. Is there such a thing? The 30-year-old woman was very surprised. I know you won't believe it, but I saw it with my own eyes. I won't lie to you. The 20-year-old young man looked helpless. I believe you. I believe everything you say. The 30-year-old woman quickly replied to the 20-year-old young man. What's wrong with you? What did you see? You look so lost. The old man with a gray beard came over and asked the 20-year-old young man. Nothing. I didn't see anything. The 20-year-old young man shook his head and looked at the old man with a gray beard very vigilantly. That's not right. You clearly saw something, and your behavior just now was the same as that of the girl before. The old man with a gray beard was obviously not stupid. At this moment, the girl on the ground woke up. No, No, the girl screamed. It's okay, it's okay, we are all here, it's safe here. The 30-year-old woman quickly squatted down and supported the girl, comforting her softly. The girl looked at the people around her, but her body was still shaking. Did you also find something in the mirror, something scary? The old man with a white beard asked the girl. Based on the performance of the 20-year-old youth just now, he had already guessed what happened to the girl. That boy is a ghost, a terrible evil ghost, the girl said with a trembling voice. The 30-year-old woman subconsciously glanced at the 20-year-old youth. It seemed that the girl and the 20-year-old youth had indeed experienced the same thing. After looking in the mirror in a room on the 3rd floor, they claimed to have seen a ghost. I was with you just now. You didn't think I was a ghost, did you? The old man with a white beard immediately realized something and asked the 20-year-old youth. The 20-year-old youth remained silent. If the girl also saw the same thing and thought that the boy with her was a ghost, then it means that the old man is not a ghost. He was just misled by the mirror. It seems that the truth has been revealed. There is something fishy in that mirror. People who see the mirror will have hallucinations and think that the people around them are ghosts. I don't know if it is the manipulator behind the scenes who did this on purpose to make us suspicious of each other and kill each other. The 30-year-old woman analyzed it. I was standing in front of the mirror just now, but I didn't see anything. The old man with a white beard looked regretful. Are you okay? Does your head still hurt? The 30-year-old woman asked the girl. It hurts and I feel dizzy. I want to go to bed. Will you accompany me? I'm so scared. The girl looked at the 30-year-old woman for help. Don't be afraid. I will accompany you. The 30-year-old woman comforted the girl softly, and then carefully helped her up from the ground. The 2nd floor is the bedroom, but you have to be careful. The 20-year-old young man hesitated to say something to the 30-year-old woman. I will be careful. Why don't you rest in the bedroom next to us? I can call you if there is anything. The 30-year-old woman asked the 20-year-old young man. Okay, no, I'll just stay in the bedroom next door. The 20-year-old young man obviously didn't want to be in the same room with the old man with gray beard. You guys go ahead, old man. I don't want to sleep yet. I still have to look for clues. The old man with gray beard knew very well that if others didn't want him to follow, he certainly wouldn't follow. The 30-year-old woman helped the girl to the bedroom on the 2nd floor, and the 20-year-old young man followed them upstairs. The 30-year-old woman helped the girl into one of their bedrooms with 2 beds. The 20-year-old young man sat in the bedroom next to them and rested. The girl was obviously still seriously injured. After entering the room, she lay down on the bed and soon seemed to fall asleep. After the 30-year-old woman found that the girl was asleep, she felt a lot of sweat on her body and her head was a little itchy. After thinking about it, she decided to go to the bathroom next door to wash her hair or take a shower. After checking that the door was closed and there was nothing wrong with the window, the 30-year-old woman walked into the bathroom. There was a large mirror above the sink in the bathroom. The 30-year-old woman looked at herself in the mirror. It seems that they were all looking at the mirror just now, and then something happened. What is in the mirror? The 30-year-old woman stared at the mirror for a long time, and only turned around after finding that there was nothing. The 30-year-old woman's head itched even more. After taking off her clothes, she walked into the bathtub next to her, turned on the shower head above, and started to take a shower. After taking a shower for a while, the 30-year-old woman took the shampoo next to her, applied it on her hair, and scratched her scalp. It feels so comfortable. I don't think I have washed my hair for a long time, the 30-year-old woman said to herself. If you don't wash your hair for a long time, your scalp will easily itch, and it will feel comfortable after washing. At this time, footsteps suddenly came from outside the bathroom. It felt like the sound of a man's leather shoes. Why is there a man in the room? Could it be that the girl got up? Her footsteps were so heavy. Who is walking outside? The 30-year-old woman's head was covered with shampoo, and it was inconvenient to open her eyes, so she just shouted to the outside. The sound of leather shoes stopped, and after a while, it sounded again, as if it came to the door of the bathroom. Then the bathroom door lock rang, as if someone was trying to come in from outside. Hey, who is it? Don't come in, I'm taking a shower, the 30-year-old woman screamed, and quickly turned on the shower head, trying to rinse off the shampoo on her head. and then opened her eyes to see what was going on. However, the water was cut off. Chapter 461 feels familiar. 30-year-old woman quickly reached out to grab a towel, trying to wipe the shampoo off her eyes. It was too frightening not to be able to see at this time. But the more panicked, the more mistakes she made. The 30-year-old woman didn't find a towel, but tripped over the edge of the bathtub and fell. Her hands were pressed on something. The 30-year-old woman didn't care too much. She wiped the shampoo next to her eyes with her hands, and finally she could barely open her eyes. Only then did she realize that her hands were pressed on a pair of feet, a pair of men's feet, and his legs. The man didn't know when he entered the bathroom where she was taking a bath. "Are you sick? Don't you know I'm taking a bath?" The 30-year-old woman was ashamed and angry, and hurriedly looked for something to cover her body. As a result, shampoo got into her eyes, stinging her so much that she couldn't open them at all. Then she felt a pair of hands touching her. "Go away, go to hell." The 30-year-old woman kicked and kicked. Her legs and feet were sore. The man seemed to be kicked down by him, and fell to the ground with a thump. The shower head in the bathroom suddenly rushed down, washing away the shampoo on her hair and face. The 30-year-old woman quickly opened her eyes, and endured the stinging pain in her eyes to look around the bathroom. As a result, there was no one in the bathroom except her. It was not a man who fell to the ground, but the toilet in the bathroom, which was kicked over by her. "I clearly saw a pair of men's feet just now." The 30-year-old woman was still in shock, and her body kept shaking. She didn't dare to stay in the bathroom any longer, and quickly turned on the shower head, washing herself desperately, washing away the shampoo left on her hair. While washing, she suddenly felt that something was wrong. "Why is the water flowing from the shower head wet and sticky?" The woman opened her eyes again and looked at the mirror above the sink next to her. In the mirror, the shower head was flowing blood downwards, and behind her, there was a man with blood all over his face and body. The man held a gun in his hand. When the 30-year-old woman looked at him, he pointed the gun at his temple. With a muffled bang, his crown exploded, and his brain and blood splattered all over the 30-year-old woman. "Ah!" The 30-year-old woman screamed and ran out of the bathroom naked. The girl outside was still sleeping soundly, and had no reaction to what happened in the bathroom. After shivering in the room for more than 5 minutes, the 30-year-old woman calmed down a little. All her clothes were in the bathroom, and she had to go in to get them back, otherwise she would have to stay naked like this. What was going on with that man? How did he break into the bathroom? Or was it all just her hallucination, just like the hallucinations that happened to the girl and the 20-year-old man before? Was it the manipulator behind this so-called game who deliberately scared them? The 30-year-old woman decided to go back to the bathroom to take a look. If the man's body was still there, it meant that what happened just now was not an illusion. If there is no dead body of the man in the bathroom, it means that everything that happened just now was an illusion deliberately created by the manipulator of the game to scare them. In this case, don't panic when something like this happens. Perhaps the key to cracking this game, or some clues, are hidden in these illusions. And because they are very afraid of these things, they ignore these clues. After thinking it through, the 30-year-old woman walked back to the bathroom door with courage. The light in the bathroom was on, and the toilet fell to the ground, but there was no dead body of the man. The toilet was kicked over by the woman herself. It seems that everything that happened just now was indeed just an illusion. The woman wiped her body with a towel, put on her clothes and prepared to leave, but she found that there was a gun hidden under the toilet that she kicked over. It was the pistol that the man used to commit suicide just now. The woman picked up the pistol, habitually pulled the bolt, looked at the bullet inside, then put the bolt back, turned on the safety, and held the gun with both hands in a very standard posture and aimed straight ahead. I seem to be very familiar with this feeling. The woman felt a little confused. She seemed to remember something, but she couldn't figure it out if she thought about it carefully. No matter what, with a pistol with more than a dozen bullets for self-defense, many dangers can be avoided. In addition, you can try to walk out of the villa and explore outside to see if you can find a way out of here. After the woman made up her mind, she put on her clothes, took the gun and walked out of the room, went to the next room and knocked on the door. The 20-year-old young man was leaning against the head of the bed in a daze, thinking about the scene when he saw the female ghost. Hearing the knock on the door, he walked over and opened the door. "I found a gun. I think we can go outside to explore." The 30-year-old woman took out the gun and looked at it proudly with the 20-year-old young man. "Gun? Can you use this thing?" The 20-year-old young man seemed very surprised. "I seem to be very familiar with the feeling of this thing, something I should have used often in the past." The 30-year-old woman fiddled with the pistol in her hand skillfully. "Well, we should really go out and see. Maybe we can find a way to leave here." The 20-year-old young man didn't want to stay here for a moment now. "Ask others if there are any who want to leave with us," the 30-year-old woman proposed to the 20-year-old young man. "I think we should explore the road first. If we find a way to leave, we can come back to pick them up. Otherwise, it is dangerous and inconvenient for us to walk around in the woods with the girl." The 20-year-old young man reminded the 30-year-old woman. "Well, what you said makes sense. Let's do as you say." The 30-year-old woman nodded. The two went downstairs and came to the lobby on the first floor. They carefully opened the door of the lobby on the first floor. "Is there a tiger outside?" the 30-year-old woman confirmed with the 20-year-old young man. "Yes, we saw one, and I think there may be more than one." The 20-year-old young man recalled the scene just now and still felt a little scared. "My shooting skills should be good. It shouldn't be a problem to deal with a few wild beasts." The 30-year-old woman gave herself courage. "Anyway, staying here will die, so why not go out and look for opportunities?" The 20-year-old young man gritted his teeth. "Indeed, if we stay here, we will kill each other. If we don't want to kill each other, we will die. In fact, I think it is very likely an illusion, just like the female ghost you saw." The 30-year-old woman thought for a while and said a few words. She did not mention the encounter with the man in the bathroom. "It makes sense. The tiger may also be an illusion, just to scare us and prevent us from leaving the villa." The 20-year-old young man agreed with the 30-year-old woman. Chapter 462 Escape. After mustering up their courage, the two walked out of the lobby of the villa on the first floor and came to the forest outside. The rain had stopped. The tiger was not guarding nearby. "Where are we going?" Looking at the forest in front of him, the 20-year-old youth looked a little confused. "I'll look around first to see if there is a way out." The 30-year-old woman took a gun and walked around the villa. "Go from here." The 30-year-old woman decided on a certain direction. The 20-year-old youth didn't quite understand why he had to go from here, but since the 30-year-old woman had decided, he didn't want to think about it too much, as if he had become accustomed to relying on her decision. The two walked out of the forest carefully, mainly worried about the beasts that suddenly rushed out of the forest. A few minutes passed, and everything seemed very calm. The 30-year-old woman walked while observing something on the ground in the forest. Not long after, the two came to a road. This was a cement-paved mountain road, large enough to accommodate two cars driving side by side. Moreover, there happened to be a small bus with about 10 seats parked on the side of the road. After walking around the minibus and carefully observing the situation inside the window, the 30-year-old woman opened the door and came to the driver's seat after confirming that there was no one inside. The car keys were still in the car. "You are so amazing. You actually found the main road and found a car." The 20-year-old young man looked at the 30-year-old woman in surprise. "It's nothing. I followed the traces all the way here." Although it rained in the mountains, some traces cannot be washed away by rain. The 30-year-old woman looked a little proud. "It seems that you know a lot." The 20-year-old young man showed an admiring expression to the 30-year-old woman. "We should return to the villa and notify others to take the car and leave together." The woman looked around vigilantly and talked about business. "Well, I didn't expect to leave so easily. The manipulator behind the game must be very angry." The 20-year-old young man seemed very excited. "When you mentioned this, I remember something. We can't both go back to the villa. What if they find out that we found the car and damage it or drive it away while we are calling for help? Then we will lose the chance to leave here. How about this? I will stay in the car while you go and call for help and call them all here." The 30-year-old woman thought for a while and proposed to the 20-year-old young man. "But what if I encounter the tiger on the way back or on the way to bring them here?" The 20-year-old young man hesitated after hearing what the 30-year-old woman said. "This is indeed a problem. It's not safe to leave you here alone. Let's go back together to call for help and then return here together. I will lock the car for the time being and hope that it will still be there when we come." The 30-year-old woman nodded. "In fact, we too have a chance to leave like this. But if we take them with us, it is very likely that we will lose the chance to leave here. Do you still decide to take them with you?" The 20-year-old young man hesitated and proposed to the 30-year-old woman. "They are also 4 lives. We can't just leave them here. If we leave them here and the 2 of us escape alone, we will live with self-blame for the rest of our lives." The 30-year-old woman was silent for a while and then answered the 20-year-old young man. "You are really a noble person. I didn't misjudge you." The 20-year-old young man looked at the 30-year-old woman with great emotion. "In fact, before you asked me that question just now, you also had the answer in your heart. If it were you, you would definitely not leave them alone, right?" The 30-year-old woman smiled. "Yes, if I leave them, I will really feel uneasy and I will definitely feel guilty in the future." The 20-year-old young man nodded. After the 2 locked the car, they turned around and walked back to the villa in the mountains. In order to avoid complications and the car being stolen or damaged, the 2 walked back very quickly. "There is a car leaving, and there is such a magical thing?" The old man with a white beard looked a little unconvinced. "It's too dangerous outside. There are tigers. I won't take risks." Why did the boy reject the kindness of the 30-year-old woman? "There is a car outside." "You are not lying?" The cold boy obviously didn't believe what the 2 said. After some persuasion, only the old man with gray beard agreed to leave with the 2 of them. As for the girl, the 20-year-old young man and the old man with gray beard could only help her get into the car. The girl was still in a coma. There was no way, so the 20-year-old young man had to carry her on his back. The 30-year-old woman explored the way ahead, and the old man with gray beard helped to look after the situation around the 20-year-old young man. The 3 of them left the village hall again and walked into the mountains and forests. "I didn't expect the 2 children to be so stubborn and refused to go with us. You know, this may be our only chance of survival." The 20-year-old young man sighed as he walked. "Everyone has their own ideas. This kind of thing can't be forced. You have said everything you should say. If they don't come, there is nothing you can do," the old man with gray beard said in a disapproving tone. "When we get outside and return to the normal world, we will quickly find someone to rescue them." The 30-year-old woman heard the conversation in front and also interrupted a few words. "Outside, normal world? What will the normal world outside be like? We have no memory. Who are we? Where should we go?" The 20-year-old young man suddenly became a little confused. After returning to the normal world, there should be many ways to find out our own identities. As long as we find out our own identities, we can slowly recall our lives by asking friends and relatives. The 30-year-old woman was very optimistic about this. "I'm afraid that there is no normal world outside. Maybe the old man with a beard has a different idea." "Why do you say that?" The 20-year-old young man looked at the old man with a white beard in confusion. "You are fine, just guessing." The old man with a white beard said nothing more. Soon the 3 of them came to the side of the road. It was very safe along the way and did not encounter any wild animals. The bus also stopped quietly on the side of the road and was not damaged or driven away by anyone. "Thank God, the car is still there. With the car, it will be easy for us to escape from here." The 30-year-old woman opened the door and sat in the driver's seat. Obviously, she still had the memory of driving, but she just forgot who she was. Chapter 463 Emergency Brake. When the 30-year-old woman was about to drive away, the cold-faced boy and the gentle boy both ran to the road and stopped the bus. "Didn't you say you couldn't come?" the 30-year-old woman asked the 2 of them curiously, leaning out of the window. "We changed our minds." The cold-faced boy came over, opened the door and got into the car. "It's not that you changed your mind, but you suspected that they were harming people, so you secretly followed us. After you found out that they didn't lie or have the intention to harm people, you showed up." As for him, after finding out that you left, he was afraid to stay there alone, so he came out with him. The old man with gray beard said a few words with a smile. The cold-faced boy glared at the old man with gray beard, said nothing, and sat down in the back seat. "Oh, you guessed it all." The gentle boy sat down next to the old man with gray beard. "You can come over. It's better for everyone to go together. The 20-year-old young man welcomed the arrival of the two boys. Do you really think so? Maybe the cunning man in the back seat has found clues about our identities and is ready to take advantage of us when we are not prepared. The old man with gray beard continued to laugh. If we unite together, we have a chance to survive together. Killing each other is too stupid and it will play into the hands of the manipulator behind the scenes. The 20-year-old young man replied to the old man with gray beard. You think so? I think so, but not everyone thinks so. The old man with gray beard disagreed with the words of the 20-year-old young man. Everyone sit down, I'm leaving. The 30-year-old woman stepped on the accelerator and started the car. The old driver is leaving. The gentle boy teased. You guys pay attention to the girl. She is still unconscious. I will try to drive more steadily, but if I want to leave, I still have to have a certain speed. The 30-year-old woman ignored the gentle boy's teasing and told the people on the bus, I will hold her. The 20-year-old young man replied to the 30-year-old woman, we can't just escape like this. This bus is probably a trap. The old man with gray beard continued to speculate, but it could also be an opportunity. How can we know if we don't try? The 30-year-old woman corrected the old man with gray beard while driving. After that, no one spoke. They all leaned back in their seats and closed their eyes to rest. The 30-year-old woman drove the car with full concentration, occasionally looking at the situation in the car through the rear-view mirror. Just after she looked at the rear-view mirror again, she suddenly found two tigers lying in the middle of the road more than 10 meters ahead. The 30-year-old woman braked hard and stopped. The sudden brake caused the people in the car to rush forward by inertia, and those who closed their eyes to rest were awakened. The unconscious girl's head hit the back of the seat in front. Ouch! What's going on? How do you drive? Everyone complained. SHH. The 30-year-old woman turned around and gestured to everyone to keep quiet. Only then did everyone see the two tigers in the middle of the road ahead through the car window. After being startled, the two tigers stood up from the ground, shook their heads and shook their fur, and walked slowly to the side of the bus. Seeing their huge bodies, everyone in the car was a little creepy. The window glass and thin skin of this ordinary bus, I'm afraid it can't withstand its sharp claws, right? Fortunately, after the tigers came over, they just circled around the car and didn't mean to attack the car. But they didn't want to leave either. One of them lay down in front of the car, and the other kept circling around the car. Everyone in the car didn't dare to speak or move, fearing that any noise would alarm the two tigers and cause them to go crazy and attack the car. Just when everyone in the car held their breath and waited for the two tigers to feel bored and leave on their own, the girl who had been unconscious in the car suddenly woke up. I don't know if she had a nightmare or woke up and found that the environment was wrong, and she suddenly screamed. It was too late for the people next to her to reach out and cover her mouth. The two tigers, who were originally lazy and not ready to attack the car, were startled by the girl's scream and stared at the car. After confirming that the sound came from the car, the two tigers hit and grabbed the car body violently. One of the car window glass could not withstand such a fierce attack and instantly shattered into a large number of patterns. It was obvious that it would be broken if it was hit by the tiger head again. The gentle boy sitting next to the cracked window was scared to death and screamed loudly. Everyone else was pale and hurriedly urged the 30-year-old woman to find a way to leave. The 30-year-old woman did not dare to stay any longer, and hurriedly risked reversing the car, trying to bypass the tiger blocking the front of the car and forcibly escape from their control. The tiger that was blocking the front of the car was relentless and chased the car to continue blocking the front of the car. After another tiger was stunned for a moment, it suddenly hit the side of the car. Its huge body knocked a dent in the car body and almost knocked the car over. Fortunately, there were many people in the car and the car body was relatively heavy, so it was able to prevent this collision. The 30-year-old woman steered the wheel and finally got around the side of the tiger in front of the car. Then she stepped on the accelerator and rushed past the tiger's body, but the car tilted again. Everyone, come to the left, hold down the car body, the 30-year-old woman shouted into the car. Fortunately, several people in the car reacted quickly and tried their best to squeeze to the left side of the car, before the car was about to lose control and rush to the side of the road and overturn into the muddy ground. The 30-year-old woman barely turned the car back to the main road. The two tigers chased the car for several minutes, and finally gave up chasing the car after they found that they could not catch up. "Why are you yelling? You almost killed everyone in the car. You are really stupid." The cold-blooded boy cursed at the girl. "You stupid idiot. If you dare to curse me, your whole family will die." The girl was furious after being scolded, and immediately cursed back. "Throw her out of the car. Leaving such a idiot in the car will only kill all of us. Raise your hands if you disagree with throwing her out of the car." The cold-blooded boy initiated a vote. "You idiot, try to touch me." The girl shook her head fiercely at the cold-blooded boy. From the looks of her, she didn't look like she had a head injury at all. "Stop cursing. Everyone should work together to find a way to escape, instead of attacking each other. If we attack each other, we will be fooled by the manipulator behind the scenes." The 20-year-old young man advised the two. Chapter 464, Stop for Refueling. "She is such a retard that she is hopeless. She almost killed everyone and she didn't even apologize." The cold-blooded boy was obviously still angry. "Fuck." The girl immediately cursed all kinds of ugly words, pouring them out at the cold-blooded boy. The cold-blooded boy obviously couldn't beat her in scolding, and he didn't dare to hit her for fear of violating the rules. In the end, he could only turn his head and look out the window and pretend that he didn't hear anything. Seeing this scene, the others also shook their heads. The girl scolded for more than 5 minutes without any intention of stopping, and the ears of everyone in the car also endured more than 5 minutes of torture. "Don't scold." He didn't say anything back for a long time. The 20-year-old young man persuaded the girl a few words. How dare he say anything back with his cowardice? The girl finally got tired of scolding, and took a bottle of drink from the snack and drink bag brought by the people next to her and drank it. "I really don't know why you saved such a person. You should leave her in the villa and let her fend for herself." The cold-blooded boy spoke again. His few words once again stirred up a hornet's nest, and the girl began to scold him endlessly. In this way, the girl cursed for a few minutes. When she was tired and rested, the cold boy suddenly said 1 or 2 words, and the girl continued to curse for a few minutes. No matter how others persuaded, it was useless. They could only endure this noise silently. "Don't forget that the gas tank is almost empty. Without gas, we can't leave here, and everyone will die." The 30-year-old woman turned around and persuaded the girl and the boy. After everyone's persuasion, the quarrel between the girl and the cold boy finally stopped. "We have walked for more than 10 kilometers, right? Why are there still forests on both sides of the road, and no people at all?" The 20-year-old young man spoke a few words. "I guess there are only forests here, and we will never get out." The old man with a gray beard also spoke a few words. "Why do you think so?" the 20-year-old young man asked the gray-beard old man. "It's not that I think so, it's the fact." The gray-beard old man shook his head. "Who said there is no one? There is a place to stop and refuel in front." The 30-year-old woman was very excited. Sure enough, there was a big sign on the side of the road in front, with the words "Stop and Refuel" written on it. "Be careful, there's a scam." The old man with a gray beard was obviously not optimistic. "The car is running out of gas soon. Even if there is gas, you have to go and refuel, otherwise we will be trapped here forever." The 30-year-old woman drove the car to the place where the parking and refueling sign was and stopped. There was a house with a yard on the side of the road, but there was no refueling equipment. The 30-year-old woman opened the car door and got out of the car. She walked to the gate of the yard and looked inside. There was no one in the yard. "Is anyone here? Stop and refuel." The 30-year-old woman shouted a few times back in the yard. No one responded, and everything was quiet. The 30-year-old woman saw a few oil cans in the corner of the yard. "Is anyone here? Stop and refuel." Now the woman shouted a few more times, but found that there was still no response, so she walked into the yard. The door of the house in the yard was locked. The 30-year-old woman knocked on the door and shouted a few more times, but still no one responded. "There is no one here. Stop talking, let's just move all the oil cans away." The cold-blooded boy and the 20-year-old young man also got out of the car, and the cold-blooded boy said a few words to the 30-year-old woman. "Not so good, right?" The 30-year-old woman hesitated. "Then what do you want? Even if there are people, you don't have money to buy oil. while the people are still not awake, or haven't come back from outside. Let's move the oil cans away quickly, otherwise when their people come back, it will be difficult for us to take the oil away like this. The cold-blooded boy said, walked over, picked up a can of oil, and walked out of the courtyard gate. He makes sense. We have to escape now. We can't care about so much. The 20-year-old young man also said a few words to the 30-year-old woman. Okay, this is the only way now. The 30-year-old woman hesitated for a moment and had to agree. After filling the tank with oil, the 30-year-old woman was about to return to the driver's seat and drive away. An old man and a young man suddenly appeared in front of the car, and the old man was holding a shotgun in his hand and pointed it at the 30-year-old woman. The young man was leading a big wolf dog, which was ready to pounce on people at any time. The old man and the young man looked very similar, and it seemed that the two were probably father and son. Who told you to steal oil? Do you have any shame? The old man yelled at the woman. Uncle, we didn't steal oil. We just wanted to borrow some oil. We don't have any money at the moment. When we leave here, we will definitely transfer the money to you. The 30-year-old woman explained to the old man. Why should I believe you? You stole my oil. If you don't have money, then you can use your body as compensation. Go into the house. The old man looked at the woman and threatened her. If you don't believe us, we can write a written agreement for you. By the way, do you have a phone here? Please help us call the police. We have all been kidnapped by a terrorist organization. We borrowed some oil here to escape. The 30-year-old woman continued to negotiate with the old man. Take off your clothes and go into the room, or I will shoot you. The old man pointed the gun at the woman's head and continued to threaten her. The young man next to him was grinning foolishly, looking at the woman with a pair of lecherous eyes. There is a younger and prettier girl in the car, who is much more fun than this one. You guys come to the car and catch her. The cold-faced young man got off the car at some point and said a few words to the old man with the gun. The old man walked to the car window, looked inside, and found that there was a girl in the car. He walked to the door and pointed his shotgun at everyone, asking them to get out of the car. While the four people in the car were hesitating, the old man's shotgun suddenly fired, and one shot hit the gentle young man's shoulder, and the gentle young man immediately screamed, bang, with a muffled sound. The 30-year-old woman also took out a gun and shot the old man in the head. The old man fell to the ground without even a groan. The young man next to him let go of the dog chain in his hand, and the big wolf dog immediately barked and pounced on the 30-year-old woman. The 30-year-old woman was unable to react in time. Her arm was bitten by the dog, and the pistol fell to the ground. The young man who was pulling the dog rushed over, holding a wooden stick in his hand, and hit the 30-year-old woman's head fiercely. The 30-year-old woman dodged by turning her head, but was still hit on the shoulder by the stick, and she was in a cold sweat all over her body. The cold-blooded boy picked up the shotgun on the ground and pulled the trigger at the young man who was pulling the dog, but no bullet was fired from the shotgun. The 20-year-old young man and the old man with a white beard saw that the situation was not good, and they also rushed down from the car. Chapter 465, Silencing. 20-year-old youth and the old man with gray beard had already got out of the car. The 20-year-old youth picked up a stone from the roadside and smashed it on the back of the young man pulling the dog. The old man with gray beard also found a stone and smashed it on the nose of the wolf dog. With the help of the two, the 30-year-old woman was finally rescued. After being able to loosen the 30-year-old woman's arm, she turned around and bit the old man with gray beard. The 30-year-old woman picked up a pistol from the ground. Although her arm was seriously injured, she still shot the dog's head accurately. The young man pulling the dog was pressed to the ground by the 20-year-old youth and the old man with gray beard. Where is this place? How can I leave this mountain forest? Do you have a map of this mountain area? The 30-year-old woman endured the pain and questioned the young man pulling the dog. If you don't know where you are, the bus will run out of gasoline even if you get a few more barrels of gasoline. This young man pulling the dog is obviously a local resident, and perhaps you can ask him for some useful information. You're just dreaming if you want to leave here. The young man who was pulling the dog had a grim smile on his face. Speak human language. The old man with gray beard twisted the young man's finger. It hurts so much. The young man who was pulling the dog screamed. It's good to know it hurts. Answer the questions well, young man. The old man with gray beard patted the young man's face. This mountain road has its own characteristics. If you don't understand the characteristics clearly, you can't get out. Sooner or later, you will return to the same place. The young man who was pulling the dog finally spoke. Oh, then tell us, what are the characteristics of this mountain road? How can we leave here? The 30-year-old woman asked the young man who was pulling the dog a few questions. Seeing what happened in front of him, the cold young man looked very frightened, but no one else noticed him. You can want to know. But there is a condition. The young man shook his head and asked everyone. Whatever the condition, as long as it can be done, I will consider it. The 30-year-old woman asked the young man who was pulling the dog while bandaging the wound. The conditions are very simple. When the young man pulling the dog was about to say something, the cold-blooded boy quietly came over, and when everyone was not prepared, he hit the young man pulling the dog on the head with a sharp stone. The young man pulling the dog fell to the ground without a sound. What are you doing? We are asking for ways to escape from here. Why are you hitting him? The 30-year-old woman looked at the cold-blooded boy in surprise. His head is smashed. He must be dead. What the hell? The old man with gray beard also looked at the cold-blooded boy with some anger. He deserves to die. Why should he be spared? The cold-blooded boy replied to everyone and returned to the bus. There is something wrong with this man. There is a big problem. He definitely has a reason for doing this. The old man with gray beard was still very angry and said to others, the manipulator behind the game is obviously more skilled. He has successfully betrayed us. We want to survive, but we are not united. I don't know what to say. The 30-year-old woman sighed, with a painful expression on her face. How were you injured? The 20-year-old young man asked the 30-year-old woman with concern. It hurts. My shoulder bone here may be broken, and my arm here was bitten by the dog's teeth. The 30-year-old woman looked pale. You can't drive now. Let me drive this time. Get in quickly, or I'll leave. The cold-blooded boy appeared in the driver's seat and urged the three people under the car. The three got in the car. The old man with gray beard and the 20-year-old young man continued to ask the cold-blooded boy why he killed the young man who pulled the dog just now. But the cold-blooded boy used the reason that the young man who pulled the dog was a bad guy to prevaricate them. You took them with you out of kindness, but now this is the result. It would have been better if the three of us had sneaked away at that time. The old man with gray beard turned to the 30-year-old woman. The 30-year-old woman just sighed. You didn't even ask about the terrain clearly. Do you know how to get there? The old man with gray beard asked the cold-blooded boy again. There is only one road, so we must have gone forward. The cold-blooded boy answered the old man. You could have asked for directions before you left. What did you mean by that? Stop giving irrelevant excuses. The old man with white beard was getting angrier and angrier. Are you annoying? You keep asking the same question over and over again. The cold-faced boy was also angry. I think you are really sick. The old man with white beard started to curse. You can see that he is sick now. He is just a big idiot. The girl obviously didn't know what happened, but when she saw someone scolding the cold-faced boy, she quickly followed suit and cursed a few more times. I don't want to argue with you idiots. It's simply lowering my IQ. You can scold me if you want. Anyway, if I get bit by a dog, I won't bite it back. After being scolded, the cold-faced boy continued to drive leisurely, as if nothing had happened. The girl started to curse the cold-faced boy endlessly again. I was hit by a bullet. It hurts so much. The more you guys quarrel, the more it hurts. Can you be quiet? The gentle boy shouted a few times in annoyance. Stop arguing. Look, there's a town ahead. Maybe we can find some medicines, bandages, or something. The 20-year-old young man looked at the front window and said a few words to everyone. Humphrey, if I hadn't driven, could you have come to the town? The cold-faced young man looked very proud. He was in the driver's seat and was obviously the first to see the town ahead. Sure enough, the car had arrived in a small town. It's called a small town, but in fact, there are more than a dozen houses on both sides of the road. Find someone to ask for a map of the mountain area, so that we can find a way to leave here. The 30-year-old woman said a few words to the 20-year-old young man next to her. "You are so seriously injured. You should rest more and talk less. I will find a way to get a map," the 20-year-old young man advised the 30-year-old woman. After entering the town, the car slowed down. "Why is there no one in the town? All the doors are closed." The old man with a white beard muttered a few words. "There are wild beasts outside, and the townspeople must be hiding at home." The 20-year-old young man answered the old man with a white beard. "Why do I feel this town is so spooky?" The old man with gray beard continued to mutter. "Stop ahead, there is a clinic," the 20-year-old young man shouted. The stern young man pulled the car over. "Wait in the car, I'll go down and ask if there are any medicines, bandages or anything like that." The 20-year-old young man said a few words to the 30-year-old woman. "Take this, be careful." The 30-year-old woman handed the pistol to the 20-year-old young man. "I don't know how to use it." The 20-year-old young man looked a little nervous. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We are waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 466 Waste of Time. "Give it to me, I know how to use it." The cold-blooded boy turned around and stretched out his hand to the 20-year-old youth. "I'd better go with you." "Of course." The 30-year-old woman did not hand over the pistol to the cold-blooded boy. She stood up from her seat with gritted teeth. "Can you do it?" The 20-year-old youth looked at the 30-year-old woman worriedly. "It just hurts. Just bear it." The 30-year-old woman smiled bitterly. Women's tolerance for pain is much greater than that of men. The monthly routine pain and the pain of childbirth are not ordinary pains. The cold-blooded boy spoke a few words, his eyes still fixed on the gun in the 30-year-old woman's hand. "You know a lot about these things, don't you?" The old man with a gray beard looked at the cold-blooded boy with some dissatisfaction, obviously unhappy about him silencing the dog-pulling boy. The cold-blooded boy seemed to be stunned for a moment, but soon returned to normal. The 30-year-old woman was also stunned for a moment, and then frowned. "You know a lot about guns. Are there any bullets in this shotgun?" The cold-blooded boy handed the shotgun he got from the evil old man to the 30-year-old woman. "Don't you know how to play with guns? This gun has no bullets. It's an empty gun." The 30-year-old woman looked at the shotgun and returned it to the cold-blooded boy. "Damn!" The cold-blooded boy cursed, but still took the shotgun in his hand. "It can be used as a stick. Come down with us to help?" the 20-year-old young man asked the old man with gray beard. "Going down to find medicine. You might encounter some evil people again. With one more person, you can take care of each other, so that the other party will be afraid before committing a crime." "Okay," the old man with gray beard agreed. "Go and come back quickly. If you don't get back to the car within 10 minutes, I'll leave." The cold-blooded boy said to the few people who went down. "Are you mentally ill? Will you die if you wait a little longer?" The old man with gray beard became more and more unhappy with the cold-blooded boy. "You are so old that you are about to go into the coffin. I won't bother with you." The cold-faced boy snorted. "We will come back as soon as possible," the 30-year-old woman said to the cold-faced boy, easing the atmosphere, and then got out of the car with the other two. The door of the clinic on the street was tightly closed. The 20-year-old young man walked over and knocked on the door. No one responded. He shouted a few more times. Still no one responded. The whole town was extremely quiet. Not only did no one respond in the clinic, but the whole town heard these shouts and no one responded. It looked like a dead town. "Don't waste time. Force the door open and go in," the old man with gray beard suggested a few words to the two. "If we encounter the situation just now again, it will be bad to say that we are trespassing." The 30-year-old woman hesitated. "I feel that you are a bit pedantic in doing things." The old man with gray beard shook his head. "It's not clothes. This is a society ruled by law. We should still act according to the law in everything we do. It is definitely not good to force our way in like this." The 30-year-old woman explained the reason to the old man with gray beard. "Okay, you guys just wait here for the master to come back. I'd better go back to the car and sit down." The old man with gray beard shook his head and turned to go back to the car. "Where's the driver?" After returning to the car, The old man with gray beard found that the cold boy was not there, so he asked the girl next to him, "Who knows, he got off the car without a word just now, maybe he went to poop. His mouth is full of feces." The girl answered the old man with gray beard, "I think his mouth is relatively clean. Waiting for your mouth really made us feel good all the way." The old man with gray beard mocked the girl. "You deserve to be scolded." The girl looked angry. "I can't afford to offend you. You are awesome. You are the best in the universe." The old man with gray beard shook his head and sat down on the seat. There were several muffled bangs outside, and it was the 20-year-old young man kicking the door of the clinic. After a while, the 20-year-old young man walked back to the car door and called to the old man with gray beard, asking him to go down with him, saying that the door of the clinic had been kicked open. The old man with gray beard got out of the car and followed the 20-year-old young man and the 30-year-old woman into the clinic. The clinic is very clean inside. There is no dust on the table, no cobwebs or anything like that. It means the owner is still here. We are illegally intruding like this, so we should quickly find what we need and leave. We will come back here when we have a chance and compensate the owner. The 30-year-old woman said a few words to the two. "Come back here, if you can leave here. I will only come back if I am mentally ill." The old man with gray beard was very disdainful of the 30-year-old woman's statement. People who stick to principles are a way of living that sticks to principles, and it is also a kind of credit. There is no need to be so sarcastic. The 20-year-old young man defended the 30-year-old woman. "Speaking of principles, if you talk too much, it will become pedantic." The old man with gray beard did not agree with the 20-year-old young man's statement. The three of them talked while searching around in the clinic. Soon, the 30-year-old woman found some anti-inflammatory drugs and bandages. She bandaged herself. "You were bitten by a dog. It's best to get a few shots of vaccine, otherwise you will die if rabies attacks in the future." The old man with a white beard looked at the 30-year-old woman after she bandaged her wound and said a few words to her. "You must get vaccinated when you go out. There is no way here. I will try to get a booster shot in the hospital outside within 24 hours. The 30-year-old woman certainly knew the seriousness of being bitten by a dog. "Can you help me bandage it too? I was shot just now to save you." The gentle boy covered his injured shoulder and also entered the clinic. After seeing the 30-year-old woman bandaged herself, he asked her, "You save us?" "Oh, I am drunk with your thick skin." The old man with a white beard sighed. "Were you shot by a shotgun?" "The shotgun uses lead bullets, and the lead bullets are still in your body. I just found a scalpel. How about I help you take the bullet out?" The 30-year-old woman said a few words to the gentle boy. "You can do surgery? You need anesthesia, right?" The gentle boy was a little hesitant. "Why? Where can I get the anesthetic here?" "I'll use a scalpel to help you take out the bullet. Just grit your teeth and bear it for a while." The 30-year-old woman proposed to the gentle boy. "No anesthesia? Scalpel? Damn, how painful it will be." "Forget it. I'll wait until I get to a big hospital outside. Let them give me anesthesia, and then take out the bullet." The gentle boy shook his head hurriedly. At this time, the sound of a car starting came from outside. The old man with a white beard hurriedly ran out of the clinic and found that the bus had actually driven away, leaving them here. Chapter 467. The scourge lasts for thousands of years. That boy drove away. He left us here. The 20-year-old young man also chased out of the clinic, and was a little angry when he saw the car leaving. "This guy is so bad. Why doesn't he just die?" The gentle young man cursed. "This is troublesome. We can't leave here without a car." The 30-year-old woman also walked out of the clinic and sighed as she watched the bus leave. The bus was running faster and faster, and suddenly lost control and hit a stone on the side of the road. The body of the bus lost balance and overturned into a house next to it, collapsing the house and denting the body of the bus. At this time, the cold-blooded boy also walked out of a house opposite the clinic. It was that brain-dead girl who drove the car away. After seeing the cold-blooded boy, the 20-year-old young man knew that he had made a mistake. "This girl is really a top-notch. She came here to make trouble on purpose. I shouldn't have brought her with me in the first place." The car was damaged, and we are completely finished. The old man with a white beard was extremely angry. "She is just a naughty kid who never grows up." The 30-year-old woman sighed. She was the one who insisted on bringing the girl along, but she annoyed them all the way and finally gave them a big gift, crashing the car. But she killed herself. The gentle boy looked at the crashed car in the distance. Just as the gentle boy finished speaking, the girl climbed out from the broken car window, patted the dust off her body, and stood there fine, without any injury. It's true that good people don't live long, and evil people will last for thousands of years. Seeing that the girl was not dead, the old man with gray beard became even angrier. Do you want to remove the bullet? If you don't remove it, the bullet will grow into the flesh and cause inflammation, and the bones will rot and hurt, which is very troublesome. The 30-year-old woman asked the gentle boy again. I'll go out and go to the hospital for anesthesia and surgery to remove it. I don't want to be cut open alive by a scalpel. The gentle boy shook his head vigorously. Do you still want to go to the hospital for anesthesia and surgery? Let's see what's going on with the car first. Can it be repaired? If the car can't be repaired, you can wait for bullets to rot through your bones. The old man with a white beard walked towards the overturned bus. Why? We remember the hospital and the surgery, but we can't remember who we are and how we got here. The 20-year-old young man was thinking hard. We should have been kidnapped here, and then we were fed some memory-erasing potion, and we are in this state now. The gentle boy answered the 20-year-old young man. Erasing memory? Shouldn't it erase all memories? I feel like we forget our own experiences and everything around us, but common sense and so on are still retained. If this is the effect of the potion, then it is really a magical potion. The 20-year-old young man disagreed with the gentle boy's answer. Let's go and see if the car can be repaired. The 30-year-old woman also walked towards the overturned bus. The 6 people gathered at the overturned bus. Why did you drive the car away? Do you want to kill all of us? The cold-blooded boy was questioning the girl beside the bus. I think so. I am willing. What's your business? The girl looked indifferent. You really deserve a beating. The cold-blooded boy shook his head. You dare to hit me? The girl trembled at the cold-blooded boy. It's really impossible to communicate with a moron like you. The cold-blooded boy continued to shake his head, but he didn't dare to impulsively beat the girl. It was too unworthy to be judged out like this. You were injured alone, and you don't know how to drive much. Why did you drive the car away alone? We have been helping you all the time. Why did you do this? Can you give me a reason? The 30-year-old woman was obviously extremely disappointed with the girl. She couldn't understand why the girl did this. Help me? What did you help me with? Who knows what your intention is? Saint bitch. The girl cursed the 30-year-old woman. You are really too much. You can curse everyone here, but you can't curse her. She has helped you so much. You actually said this to her. Do you still have any conscience? The 20-year-old youth couldn't stand it anymore. TSK, self-righteous idiot. What's wrong with me scolding her? I scolded her. What's your business? The girl immediately scolded the 20-year-old young man. I really don't know how your parents gave birth to you. You don't know how to cooperate. You don't know how to be grateful. You are extremely selfish, and you are full of swear words. It's a miracle that someone like you can live to this day. The old man with a gray beard couldn't help but question the girl. You old man with a dead father and a dead mother. You gave birth to a son without a PI, and your daughter is a barren woman. The girl immediately scolded the old man with a gray beard. I'm so angry. You are so uneducated. The old man with a gray beard was so angry that his whole body trembled. Your mother is a prostitute at home, and your father is a pimp. You don't even know who your mother gave birth to your child. How can a person like you still have the nerve to live? Why don't you jump into the manure pit and die as fertilizer immediately? The girl continued to scold the old man with a gray beard. If you scold me again, believe it or not, I will beat you to death. The old man with a gray beard was completely enraged. Don't just say you don't dare to practice. If you have the guts, come up and slap me. Stupid old man. Cowardly old man. The girl cursed more and more vigorously. Isn't it just being eliminated? What's there to be afraid of? And it's still more than 50% chance. Damn. The old man with a white beard suddenly rushed over and slapped the girl in the face. The girl was stunned. She didn't expect that the old man with a white beard would actually dare to do something to her. After being stunned, the girl burst into tears. It's okay. It seems that she and I are not in the same camp. Great. The old man with a white beard rushed forward, ready to take the points. Don't be like this. The 30-year-old woman persuaded the old man a few words, and stretched out her hand to pull the old man away to save the girl, but her hands were injured and she couldn't use any strength. "You help stop him." The 30-year-old woman looked at the others again. "Let this evil die." The cold-blooded young man obviously didn't want to get involved in this matter. What he cared about most now was the old man with a gray beard. He actually hit the right target with a 50% chance and got a point. If he wanted to win, he had to get 2 points. This was really a headache, but if he tried to stop the old man, he might be judged to have attacked the old man, and being eliminated would not be worth the loss. The gentle young man said nothing, standing aside with a gloating look, watching what happened here. The 20-year-old youth hesitated. The girl's behavior was really bad. It would be fine if she scolded others, but she actually scolded the 30-year-old woman who had always helped him. This made the 20-year-old youth a little bit uncomfortable. Chapter 468 The Right Bet. Just when the 20-year-old youth hesitated, a voice sounded in everyone's mind. It was the voice that sounded when they just entered the villa. "Number 6 is out. Number 4 gets 1 point and is currently in the lead. The others have 0 points. Ha 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 ha. I actually bet right." The old man with a white beard was very proud. "After you have 1 point, you will not die immediately if you attack or kill others, but you will be deducted this point. In addition, if a player from the enemy camp of number 4 kills number 4, in addition to the bonus point, he will also get number 4's points." The voice sounded again. This means that the old man with a white beard can now take the risk of attacking another person. If the attack is correct, he will get 2 points. If the attack is wrong, he will not be eliminated. The old man with a white beard obviously has a great advantage in this competition. However, he has also become the target of public criticism. Killing him can directly get 2 points. Obviously, these 2 supplementary rules are accelerating the process of the remaining 5 people killing each other. Sure enough, after hearing this voice, the old man with a white beard glanced at the other 4 people. It was obvious that he was looking for the next suitable prey. When the others saw him, they showed obvious fear on their faces, worried that the old man with gray beard would suddenly attack them. Because the old man with gray beard had a point, nothing would happen if he attacked wrongly, but if they were killed, it would be in vain. What a regret. I really should have taken a gamble just now. I say, everyone, let's stop killing each other here. We can't be fooled by the manipulator behind the scenes. Have you ever thought that after killing someone here, you will still be punished by the law when you go out? The net of heaven is vast and nothing can escape it. It's not a joke. The 30-year-old woman persuaded everyone for a few words. She obviously felt the subtle expressions of everyone at this time. "Let's get the car out first and see if the car can be repaired. If the car can be repaired, we can leave together." The 20-year-old young man also spoke. 2 of the 5 people were injured, and the remaining 3 worked together to push the bus that crashed into the building out. After pushing the car onto the road, they found that the driver's door was stuck and could not be opened, so they could only climb in through the window. The cold-blooded boy climbed in through the window and tried to start the car, but it couldn't start at all. "Who can fix the car?" the cold-blooded boy asked everyone. "The damage is too serious and there is no way to fix it." The 30-year-old woman shook her head after checking the condition of the car. "This idiot is really hurting people," the cold-blooded boy cursed. "Forget it. Don't curse anymore when people are dead." The 30-year-old woman advised a few words. "You knew she had a problem, so you shouldn't have left her alone in the car." The old man with a white beard said a few words. "What should we do now?" the 20-year-old young man asked the 30-year-old woman, and everyone else looked at the 30-year-old woman, feeling that she was like the leader here. "I don't know either. Let's go around this town and see if we can find anything to help us leave here." The 30-year-old woman spread her hands. Just as everyone was talking, 2 tigers suddenly appeared on the street nearby. After seeing everyone, they slowly walked over here. After seeing the 2 tigers, everyone was frightened. "Where's your gun?" the cold-blooded boy asked the 30-year-old woman in a low voice. "Where's my gun?" The 30-year-old woman touched her waist and suddenly found that her pistol was missing. The cold-blooded boy looked at the body of the girl, and he quickly rushed over to touch the girl. As a result, he really touched the 30-year-old woman's gun on the girl. The girl didn't know when she stole the 30-year-old woman's gun, but she stole the gun, but she didn't take it out when fighting with the old man with a white beard just now. Maybe the situation was urgent and she didn't think of using this thing at all. In addition, she might not know how to use it. Give me the gun. My shooting skills are more accurate. The 30-year-old woman stretched out her hand to the cold-blooded boy. No, I think it's better for me to use it. After the cold-blooded boy got the pistol, he didn't mean to give it back at all. It seems that he has some understanding of the girl's habits. Maybe the girl stole something from him when she was with him before. The girl was sitting with the 30-year-old woman in the car, and it is estimated that she attacked at that time. The two tigers have no intention of attacking us for the time being. Don't shoot unless it is an emergency. There is an iron gate over there. We will slowly retreat to that iron gate. After entering and closing the iron gate, we can prevent these tigers from attacking us. After looking at the surrounding situation, the 30-year-old woman pointed out a way to retreat. Everyone slowly retreated to the iron gate. The two tigers followed behind them slowly. I don't know if the gentle boy was too scared. He suddenly accelerated and ran towards the iron gate. The two tigers were just slowly approaching everyone, but after the gentle boy suddenly ran away, they immediately started to chase them. The cold boy reacted quickly, and with better physical strength, he ran into the iron gate with the gentle boy. What the remaining three people didn't expect was that after the cold-blooded young man ran into the iron gate, he actually closed the iron gate and bolted the iron gate. After the iron gate was closed, the place where the 30-year-old woman, the 20-year-old young man, and the old man with gray beard were located became a dead end. They couldn't move forward, and the two tigers behind them had already chased them. Open the door quickly. What the hell is going on? The 20-year-old young man shouted a few times into the door. It wasn't me who closed the door. It was him who closed the door. The gentle young man shouted to the people outside the door to explain. Help us open the door quickly. You can't beat him. If we die, you're dead. The old man with gray beard said a few words to the gentle young man. If I opened the door, I'd be dead now. Sorry. The gentle young man laughed a few times after he finished speaking. I'm sorry. These two tigers can only have a greater chance of survival if they eat you. The cold-blooded young man also spoke. These two bastards. Why didn't I kill them just now? The old man with gray beard was so angry that his beard was shaking. The two tigers rushed in front of the crowd. They made some whining sounds, as if they were ready to attack at any time. The 30-year-old woman's pistol was now in the hands of the cold-blooded boy. It can be said that the three of them were now completely in a desperate situation. Chapter 469. Game over. Watching the two tigers rushing towards them, the three people who had thought they were dead closed their eyes subconsciously. After more than 10 seconds, when they opened their eyes, they found that they were safe and sound. The two tigers were still wandering in front of the three people, but they did not really attack them. It should be an illusion, to scare us. The old man with gray beard muttered a few words. It's just two. The 20-year-old youth looked at the two tigers in shock, and he wanted to say nothing. Let's leave this damn place as soon as possible. The 30-year-old woman had calmed down. How to leave? The 20-year-old youth was a little confused. Leave quietly while they don't attack us. The 30-year-old woman stared at the two tigers. Okay. The 20-year-old youth and the 30-year-old woman walked past the two tigers with courage. The tiger roared at the two people a few times, looking very fierce, but did not attack them. The old man with gray beard also followed the two people out. Hey, what's the situation outside? The two teenagers hiding in the house behind the iron gate asked outside. The 30-year-old woman was about to say something, but was stopped by the old man with gray beard. After the three quietly returned to the street, the two tigers were still guarding the iron gate and did not leave. The old man with gray beard took out 2 barrels of gasoline from the overturned bus, but walked back to where the tigers were. Hey, why are you going back? The 20-year-old young man asked the old man with gray beard. He wants to burn the two tigers to death and save the two people inside. The 30-year-old woman speculated. Why do I feel the opposite? The 20-year-old young man showed a strange expression on his face. The old man with gray beard completely ignored the two tigers. After walking back to the house, he poured gasoline around the house, then walked a few steps away, took out the lighter he had found earlier, threw it at the gasoline on the ground, and then walked away quickly. After a while, the two people in the room screamed and rushed out from inside, and were burned into 2 firemen. Number 1 and number 5 are out, and number 4 gets 3 points. All 3 members of the biochemical camp are dead. The game is over, and number 4 of the quantum camp has won the final victory. Congratulations to number 4. You can recover all your memories, restore your real body, and gain another life. You will be teleported back to your original world at noon tomorrow. Number 2, number 3, and number 4 belong to the same camp. Number 2 and number 3 will also recover their memories and officially die at noon tomorrow. Please cherish your last time. A voice sounded in the minds of the 3 people who were still alive. At the same time, the appearance, figure, and even gender of the 3 people who were still alive changed. The 30-year-old woman became a male police officer. The 20-year-old young man became the wife of the male police officer. The old man with gray beard became a teenager. Jin Ke, the male police officer, and the male police officer's wife hugged each other tightly. They finally understood why they had a very familiar and intimate feeling when they saw each other. The feeling of relatives. The feeling of close relatives. Damn, I bet right again. It seems that my analysis is correct. The old man with gray beard. Jin Ke patted his head. How did you analyze that the 3 of them are not in the same camp as us? The 20-year-old youth, a woman who looked gentle and virtuous, asked Jin Ke curiously. The 30-year-old woman, the male policeman, also looked at Jin Ke. It's too simple. The 6 people are divided into 2 camps. The 3 of us belong to the normal people camp, and the 3 belong to the brainless camp. The manipulator behind this game must be the people in the quantum camp under the command of the optical computer. In order to tell us how brainless the people in the biochemical camp are, they organize this game. After I judge which people are brainless and which are not brainless, it is easy to distinguish the people in the 2 camps. Kill all the brainless people, and the game will end. Jin Ke answered the 2. What is the biochemical camp? What is the quantum camp? The 2 asked Jin Ke curiously. This is a long story. Jin Ke roughly told the 2 the background of the horror city game. The 2 still didn't know what was going on, with a look of confusion on their faces. Are you the undercover policeman who died heroically after being tortured for 3 days and 3 nights after being discovered by drug dealers? Jin Ke looked at the male policeman. Yes. He was a very righteous and upright person. He had been fighting against various evil forces and finally died in their hands. The male policeman's wife answered Jin Ke with tears in her eyes. Are you his wife? The one who was unfortunately killed by the naughty kids' stones? Jin Ke looked at the male policeman's wife again. How do you know so clearly? We don't seem to have mentioned this to you, right? The male policeman looked at Jin Ke in some surprise. I found some clippings in the room of the villa, and there happened to be some news reports about the 2 of you. I really didn't expect that I was playing this damn game with a heroic couple. The people who should survive the most are you, not me. Jin Ke frowned. We are very satisfied. The people who were originally dead, and separated by life and death, now have the opportunity to spend a day together. We are very lucky and happy. The policeman's wife snuggled tightly in the policeman's arms. Who is that? You can hear us talking. Can you let them leave here alive? Such good people should not die like this. It's unfair. Jin Ke looked at the sky and asked the manipulator behind the game. Rules are rules. Winning is winning. Losing is losing. No one can change this. The voice appeared in the minds of the 3 people. You are wrong, right? The 2 of them have no intention of harming others. In the game, they have never thought of killing others. They have even been saving and helping others. Your game itself is unfair to them. Jin Ke refuted the voice. The rules cannot be changed, but since you won the game, if you want to save them, you can give them some of your life. For example, you can give them each a week, so that they can have a honeymoon. The voice answered Jin Ke. Well, I've never begged anyone before, but this time I really want to ask you, can you lend each of us a week of life? When we got married, I was on a mission, so we didn't even have a honeymoon. I went straight back to work. I promised her that I would give her a make-up honeymoon, but before I could, I didn't expect that I would be gone like this. Chapter 470. If we can live one more week, I want to spend this week with her and give her some insignificant compensation for what I owe her. I know this request is too much. If you want to put forward any conditions to exchange with us, we will agree to anything we can do," the male policeman proposed to Jin Ke. The wife beside the male policeman was crying at this moment. She stretched out her hand and kept touching the male policeman's face. Jin Ke remained silent and did not say a word. "If it's too difficult, forget it. Life is the most precious thing in the world. This request is indeed too much, and we have nothing to exchange with you." The male policeman waited for a while and then gave up on his own initiative. They met by chance and had no friendship. Why should others help them? And it was such a precious thing. Those billionaires would rather pay a lot of wealth to live a little longer, even if it was only one day. But how could the couple have such financial resources? "Who is that? Give them 50 years of my life each," Jin Ke suddenly proposed to the manipulator behind the game. 50 years? Have you thought it through? 50 years for one person, 100 years for two people. You have to deduct 100 years of life. The voice reminded Jin Ke a few words. "I have thought it through. It's rare for me to be so noble. Don't shake my determination again," Jin Ke answered the voice. "Life can still be earned in the nightmare reincarnation. Since you meet such a heroic couple, you should help them." The male policeman and his wife looked at Jin Ke in great surprise. They couldn't believe their ears at all. Originally, they just wanted to borrow a total of 2 weeks of life from him, but they didn't expect him to give them 100 years. 50 years per person is enough for them to live to 80 years old. It is also the normal age of death. But can this boy live for more than 100 years? If they are given 100 years of life, wouldn't he die immediately? "I really didn't expect that there are such noble people in the world." "Okay, I agree to your request. I will deduct your 100 years of life from them, and each of them will get 50 years. The voice answered Jin Ke. "Thank you so much." The policeman and his wife looked at Jin Ke, feeling extremely grateful and excited. "But what will you do?" "Just give us 1 year each. Don't give us so much." The policeman thought about it and asked Jin Ke again. "Don't worry about this. While you are busy with work in the future, you must also treat your wife well and spend more time with her. Don't let this hard-earned opportunity slip away again and then regret it again." Jin Ke shook his head. He would not change his mind about what he had decided. The next day, at noon, "We are about to separate. We have nothing but gratitude for you. You have given us another life. We will definitely repay you when we have the chance, although our repayment may be insignificant and cannot be compared with what you have given us." The policeman and his wife said goodbye to Jin Ke. "Okay, stop nagging." Jin Ke waved his hand. Soon, the policeman and his wife were teleported away and returned to their lives. As for how they came back to life without being suspected by people in the real world, that was something that the manipulator behind the game had to do, not something Jin Ke had to consider. Because you changed the rules of the game has changed, and your teleportation may have unknown problems. The voice appeared in Jin Ke's mind. "What's the problem?" Jin Ke asked the voice. "Unknown problems, of course, are things I don't know. How can I answer you if I don't know?" The voice answered Jin Ke. "Damn." Location of the teleportation. Target location. Program disorder. Abort teleportation. Terminate teleportation failure. Teleportation begins. With a long series of prompt sounds, Jin Ke only felt a trance in his mind. The next moment, he was teleported to another place. He was in a big bus. He saw that his arms and legs were very thin. He looked left and right and saw the two people next to him. His expression was extremely shocked. He was actually sitting with his parents, and he was sitting between them. He was very familiar with this scene. It was a memory that was buried in the deepest part of his mind. The memory of his parents' accident. His parents took him on a trip. When the bus was driving on a mountain road, a landslide suddenly occurred in front of them. The car was completely buried, and a huge rock hit the rear of the car squarely where he and his parents were sitting. His parents used their bodies to support the space and protect him. He survived, but they all left. Unexpectedly, after coming out of the death game just now, he was actually teleported to such a target location. This is not only a location, but also a time point. After figuring it out, Jin couldn't care about anything else. He got up from his seat and rushed to the front of the car quickly. "Care, what are you doing?" His parents were startled and shouted at him. Jin ignored them and rushed straight to the driver. "There is a landslide in front, brake quickly." Jin yelled at the driver. The driver was startled and instinctively stepped on the brakes. The people in the car were caught off guard and were thrown to the ground by the driver's emergency brakes. They all started to curse. "Whose naughty kid is this? What's up? Where are his parents? Why don't they come out to take care of it? Sorry, sorry, sorry." Jin Ke's parents kept apologizing to the passengers, and then walked over quickly to hold Jin Ke. At this moment, there was a loud rumbling sound a few dozen meters ahead. I saw a large piece of mountain sliding down from the mountain, carrying a large number of boulders, smashing on the road ahead, completely blocking the road. All the passengers in the car were stunned. The driver was also stunned. Jin Ke's parents were also stunned. Fortunately, Jin Ke stopped the car in time. Otherwise, according to the previous driving speed, the car would be buried under the sliding mountain. Those who scolded Jin Ke before showed guilt on their faces at this time. Some people took the initiative to apologize to Jin Ke and his parents. More people looked at Jin Ke in confusion. How did he know that there would be a landslide ahead? At this time, Jin Ke was not interested in those apologies at all. He felt that it was all just a dream. Did he really save his parents? They were really real in front of him. "I just had a dream about a landslide, but I didn't expect it to be real." Jin Ke made up an excuse to his parents. His parents looked at each other, with some fear on their faces, as if they realized something. Then they hugged Jin Ke tightly together. Chapter 471 Life. Buddha said that there are 8 sufferings in life: birth, aging, sickness, death, separation from loved ones, resentment, failure to obtain, and the 5 aggregates. Jin Ke felt that he had experienced all of these 8 sufferings. He never thought that his life could be repeated in this way. This year, he was 12 years old. Originally, this year, he experienced the death of both his parents, but now his parents are back with him. As before, he is in the 1st grade of junior high school. Unlike before, he is no longer the helpless 12-year-old him. He has experienced a lot in his life. Most importantly, he is still in the game, carrying all the skills and props in the game. Returning to the life of the 1st grade of junior high school, being with a group of little friends and naughty kids, Jin Ke felt a sense of laughter and tears. However, apart from the option of quitting the game, Jin Ke didn't know how to return to the original world. Moreover, Jin Ke was not very sure whether he had to return to the original world. In the years since his parents passed away, he has been living in sadness and loneliness, missing them all the time. Now that they are finally back, why should he leave? But what about Xue'er? His parents are back, but his daughter is gone. Fortunately, Luo Ye and Liu Zioxi are helping to take care of her. If he quits the game, Jin Ke will also lose all his skills and props in the game. After weighing the pros and cons, Jin Ke decided to stay here. In addition, he would think of a question from time to time. That is, did he save his parents because he went back to the past? Or did he enter another parallel world? Or maybe, all this was just his illusion. Or maybe, this is part of the game Horror City? If this is still the world he lives in, then he changed the fate of his parents, which is equivalent to throwing a stone into the originally calm lake. What kind of butterfly effect will it cause in the future generations? This is obviously an extremely complicated question. At least it is a question that Jin cannot think of the answer to now. Since he can't figure it out, he simply doesn't think about it. Live your life well first, and enjoy the joy of having your parents back by your side. Or, start your life over again. Because he has the skills and props in the game, he can start his life over again with the golden finger. However, Jin Ke feels that his life has become a bit chaotic, intermittent, and fragmented in recent times. Life at 2 points in time: spaceship, Xue'er, parents, studio, games, etc. He can't have them all at the same time, which makes his life become a state of being torn apart. Can I end this chaos by exiting the game? The exit option in the lower right corner of the field of vision can be selected at any time, but this seems to mean that Jin Ke will give up all the superpowers he has now. Jin Ke's Class 1, 3. The final exam is coming soon. The significance of this final exam is very different. The school has recently conducted a pilot project and decided to form a key class from 8 classes. Only students who rank in the top 40 in the grade in the final exam are eligible to enter the key class. Only 5 students in each class have the opportunity to enter on average. Of course, If more than 5 students in our class enter the key class, it means that our class is better than other classes. If less than 5 students in our class enter the key class, it means that our class is worse than other classes. Only if you enter the key class will you have the opportunity to receive the school's key training. I hope that the students will have a sense of collective honor, study hard these days, and strive to get more places in the key class. The head teacher was giving a speech for the final exam. Jin Ke recalled carefully that he had experienced this before. His grades at that time were ranked after 20th in a class of 40 people, and often hovered around 30th. Therefore, he was not qualified to enter the key class at all. After his parents died, he stayed in ordinary classes in the second and third year of junior high school. He turned his grief into strength and worked hard for 2 years. His grades improved rapidly, which allowed him to be admitted to Yunfeng No. 1 middle school with a score in the top 50 in the grade. Of course, after entering Yunfeng No. 1 middle school, Jin Ke became addicted to games and his academic performance fell into mediocrity again. In order to allow more outstanding students in our class to enter the key classes, I decided to focus on tutoring the following 10 students in the next few days. They are all outstanding students in the class and are usually among the top 10 in the exams. Please come to my office after school to get a set of internal test questions for the students who are called. This will be a great help to your final exam this time. Wang Xiken, Feng Taimo, Go Jingming, Lu Benwai, Wang Jings. After Jin Ke recalled for a while, the last class ended. The head teacher announced something to the students and then called the names of 10 students. Teacher Zhang, can you give me a set of internal test questions? Jin Ke raised his hand to the head teacher. Since he has started his life again, he must plan his life well. He should not live in such a muddle. First of all, he has to do well in this final exam. The whole class looked at Jin Ke. Zhang Ke, the head teacher, also looked at Jin Ke. When announcing the key tutoring, Zhang Ke also thought about the thoughts of other students. There may be some students who are ranked 11th to 15th who are dissatisfied with his arrangement and hope to join. At that time, he will make some requirements to these students, such as how many test questions they must finish in the next few days. But what Zhang Ke did not expect was that the one who made this request was Jin Ke, a student with middle and lower grades. Those students who usually have better grades than Jin Ke also showed a look of contempt at this time. They did not dare to make such a request to the head teacher, but they did not expect Jin Ke to make it. Your grades are behind the 20th in the class, and often hover around the 30th. Even if you are given internal test questions and key tutoring, the final exam will be in 3 days. Can you still do well? I'm sorry. This internal test paper is only given to the outstanding students in the class. Giving it to you is just a waste of paper. You can't get into the key class. Please don't show off at this time. After a moment of silence, the head teacher Zhang Ke rejected Jin Ke in public. The whole class laughed together and looked at Jin Ke as if he was a joke. Teacher Zhang, isn't it too much to say that? It's a bit humiliating. If I get into the key class, shouldn't you apologize to me in front of the whole class? Jin Ke argued with the head teacher Zhang Ke in a serious manner. Chapter 472 Dream. Apologize? Do you still want to get into the key class? If you can get into the key class, I will eat this textbook in front of the whole class. Zhang Ke was angered by what Jin Ke said just now. A poor student in the middle and lower ranks, whose parents have never arranged for him as the head teacher, dared to question him in front of the whole class. Teacher Zhang, you just said that you hope every student in our class will have a sense of collective honor and strive to get into the key class. I am also working hard according to your requirements. I don't know why you are so angry. Do you mean that you don't want us to work hard, or do you not want us to have a sense of collective honor? Jin Ke asked Zhang Ke in confusion. Zhang Ke found that he was actually unable to refute what Jin Ke said. Teacher Zhang, you have always taught us to have dreams and dare to fight for them. I now have the dream of getting into the key class and want to fight for this dream, but Teacher Zhang, why do you humiliate me like this? Humiliate a student like me who wants to win honor for the class? Continued. The whole class was silent, and all looked at Jin Ke as if he was a monster. When it came to preaching, they felt that they could not beat Teacher Zhang. Usually, it was Teacher Zhang who preached to them. Unexpectedly, Jin Ke preached to Teacher Zhang today, and Teacher Zhang was speechless. You are right. But have you worked hard? You are usually lazy and your grades have not improved. The final exam is coming, and you are going to be divided into key classes, and you come out to show off. Students like you who are unwilling to be down to earth. What qualifications do you have to talk about dreams? After a few seconds of silence, Jin Ke scolded Jin Ke. Yes, I may not have worked hard before, but now I want to work hard. Teacher Zhang, do you mean that I should not work hard? Students like me have no right to have dreams? There are more than a dozen people in the class who have similar or even worse grades than me. According to Teacher Zhang, none of us have the right to have dreams. Jin continued to question Jin Ke slowly. A dozen students who were in the middle and lower ranks of the class and whose grades were not very good all started to make a noise after hearing what Jin Ke said. They were the kind whose parents had no background and were usually discriminated against by Teacher Zhang. However, because of their poor grades, they never dared to stand up and say anything. Unexpectedly, Jin Ke said everything they wanted to say today, and said it so clearly that they could not help but change their attitude of mocking Jin Ke and developed a kind of admiration for Jin Ke. Quiet, quiet, do you want to rebel? Do you want me to invite your parents to a meeting? Jin Ke slammed the table and yelled. Can you give me a copy of the internal test questions? I can pay for the copying myself. I want to win honor for the class. I have a dream of entering the key class. Please help me, Teacher Zhang. Jin continued to speak to Jin Ke slowly. I want a copy too. I also want to win honor for the class. I want one too. I have a dream. The dozen students who had just made a noise started to make a noise again. Okay, if you want the internal test questions, then I'll give them to you. Except for the 10 students I named, the others can go to the school copy room to pay for the copies. I want to see how many points you can get in this final exam. Jin Ke, who wants to win honor for the class and has a big dream, the head teacher Jin Ke announced with a cold face. After school, the classmates in the class looked at Jin Ke with strange eyes. Some mocked him, some admired him, and some gloated over his misfortune. But Jin Ke didn't care about it. He got the internal test questions, and he would review them carefully in the next few days to make his second life a good start. After returning home, Jin Ke threw himself into the intense review. In his previous life, his efforts in the second and third years of junior high school laid a very solid foundation for his junior high school grades. In the 3 years of high school, although he was addicted to games and his academic performance was only at the middle level, his understanding of these basic subjects was definitely much better than those first-year junior high school students. With his current high school sophomore learning level, it was really a sledgehammer to deal with the final exam of the first year of junior high school. Of course, some specific knowledge points still need to be familiarized through a few days of review. After starting to review, Jin quickly recalled the knowledge he had learned. Just like a junior high school student doing elementary school Chinese and mathematics, it was easier than he imagined. Seeing that Jin seemed to have changed, his parents were also very happy to study so hard and seriously. But Jin could still see the hidden worries between their brows, and heard them whispering something behind his back. At 11 o'clock in the evening, Jin pretended to sleep and turned off the lights in the room. Then he rushed to the balcony of his home with a death charge skill, which was next to his parents' window. Sure enough, the two of them were still talking in a low voice. I wonder if it means we are safe after escaping this landslide. The mother's voice. It's hard to say. Didn't we think so last time? But it was still dangerous. The father's voice. What I am most worried about now is that Care seems to be involved in this matter. How could he dream about a landslide and stop the driver in time? Mother's voice. This matter is indeed quite strange. Could it be that those people are reminding us through him? Father's voice. I think that only if we die can he be safe. I really don't want him to be involved in this matter. Mother seemed to be sobbing. If I can stay with him for a few more years, when he grows up and becomes more mature, I will feel more at ease when we leave him. Father's sigh. Do you feel that Care seems to be very different after returning from the trip? Mother's voice. I feel that he was a child before, but after returning from the trip, he gave me the feeling of an adult. Whether it is his eyes or his behavior, he is completely different from before the trip. Father's voice. I don't know what he dreamed about, what he experienced. We can't ask him about these things. Mother's voice. It's better for us not to ask anything. Just cherish the time we spend with him. Father was silent for a while and said a few words to Mother. By the way, their class teacher called today and said that Ke was making a scene in class and asked us to discipline him. What should we do? The mother changed the subject. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We are waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 473 Academic Master. I asked Ke about this. He wanted an internal test paper to prepare for the final exam. As a result, the head teacher, Mr. Zhang, mocked him. This is not Ke's fault. The father's voice. Let's buy some shopping cards and send them to him tomorrow. Don't let the child suffer in school. The mother mentioned it to the father. I mentioned this to Ke, and he said number. He said he would get good grades in the final exam. If he gets good grades, he naturally doesn't need to ask the teacher. In addition, I think the child is sensible and doesn't need extra care. These setbacks are good for his growth and can also help him understand this society. The father's voice. Okay, I'll listen to you. The mother said nothing more. From the conversation between his parents, Jin Ke felt that they should have encountered some supernatural phenomena. It seems necessary to have a good talk with them, but how to talk? Will it arouse their vigilance? Then they will not tell him anything? Or should he secretly investigate them and talk after finding the right clues? Let's deal with the final exam first. Since life has started anew, don't be muddle-headed like before. 3 days later, the final exam began. After 3 days of intense review, Jin Ke had remembered all the forgotten knowledge points. The first-year junior high school courses are indeed very simple, and it is very easy for a high school student to pick up. The first exam was mathematics. Jin Ke finished the test paper in less than an hour. When he glanced to the side inadvertently, he found that the top student in the grade was sitting not far in front. It happened that the top student had also finished all the questions and was looking through his test paper. Jin Ke subconsciously recorded and screenshotted his vision with his mobile phone. After taking the screenshot, he enlarged it. The super clear screenshot showed the moment when the top student turned the test paper and Jin Ke's vision very clearly. This top student ranked first in the entire grade in the midterm exam, leaving the second place behind by more than 30 points. You can imagine how strong he is. Of course, Jin Ke didn't want to copy the top student's answer. He just wanted to check his answers to see if there were any differences with the answers of the top student. As a result, he actually found several differences. After careful checking, Jin Ke found that there were 2 mistakes caused by his own lack of careful examination of the questions. There were 3 more mistakes that were obviously made by the top student. After correcting these 2 mistakes, Jin Ke's math test score was obviously higher than that of the top student. But even without corrections, Jin Ke should have scored a few points higher than that of the top student. With this experience, Jin Ke also checked the answers of the top student's test papers in the next few exams. After the final exam, Jin Ke didn't know whether he could enter the top 40 in the grade, but he was sure of one thing, that is, his total score must be higher than that of the top student. Jin Ke, do you have anything to do tonight? Let's go play games together. 2 boys came over and patted Jin Ke on the shoulder. Jin Ke looked back and saw that they were his 2 good friends in the first grade of junior high school, one named Zig and the other named Juni, both of whom were game enthusiasts. I remember that in my last life, because of his parents' accident, Jin Ke was immersed in grief. He spent all his time on studies in the second and third years of junior high school, and didn't play games with them much. But now he is in a very relaxed mood and can go play with them. The most popular game in the internet cafe is 3 domains. The game is divided into human race, ghost race, and corpse race. When I was in the first year of junior high school, Jin Ke's level of playing this game was very poor, mainly because he didn't play it much. Later, the internet cafe industry declined and withdrew from the stage of history. After Jin Ke pulled up the network cable at home, he often played this game on the battle platform, and he had reached the top 20 of the entire server. Of course, the main reason was that he didn't have enough time. If he had enough time, it would be possible for him to reach the top 3 or even the top with his operation skills. I didn't expect to go back to the time when this game was just launched for half a year. Jin Ke remembered that his level of playing this game was not very good at that time, mainly because he had played less and lacked experience, and was often abused by Chijin Juni. The old rules: 3 people park in a round robin, and the winner pays the bill. Chij said originally, he was the best among the 3, and his father was a doctor, so he had the best family conditions, so he deliberately made this rule. Kaig was not only the best in playing 3 domains, but also famous in the whole junior high school. There was an internet cafe next to the school, named 3 Domains Internet Cafe, just to take advantage of the popularity of 3 domains. As soon as Kaig entered the internet cafe, someone recognized him and called him a master, which made Kaig very happy, and his face was quite proud. "Are you good at 3 domains?" A boy with a Huang City accent came over and asked Kaig. "Not bad." Kaig nodded rather conceitedly. "He is the best player in our 19th middle school." Junixium next to him also introduced him. His brother's high level of gaming was of course something he was very proud of. For those boys in the first grade of junior high school, their academic performance was not good, but if they were good at gaming, they could also be proud of themselves in front of their peers. "Oh, number 19 middle school, the one next to it? I wonder if there are really masters in such a small place." The boy from Huang City looked unconvinced. People who are good at playing games like to challenge other masters, and they feel a sense of accomplishment when they defeat them, especially the top master of a certain middle school. "Just you? I can beat you into pieces in a minute." Zig was very dissatisfied with the other party's questioning tone and expression. "Hey, let's do this. 3 singles, 2 out of 3, choose the race you're most familiar with. If you win, I will pay for everyone in this internet cafe tonight, and I will call you master in public, and kneel down to offer you tea, and you will do the same in return. Do you dare to accept this bet?" The boy from Huang City proposed to Zig. "Let's bet. Who's afraid of who?" Zig was stimulated by the other party's words and agreed at once. The students in the internet cafe started to make a fuss, and it was of course a good thing that someone paid the bill. "Are you too impulsive? Can you really win?" Juni whispered beside Zig. He knew that although Zig's family was financially sound and could afford the internet fees for the 3 of them, but if Zig had to pay for everyone's bill in the internet cafe tonight, he probably couldn't afford so much pocket money, and he would inevitably be beaten up by his father Chibo, who was an anesthesiologist in the hospital. Chapter 474, 3 Domains Battle. How could I lose? Chija also felt a little regretful. After all, he didn't understand the other party's background, but since the bet was made, it was impossible to regret it in public now. After the 2 sides agreed on the rules, the park started soon. The internet cafe owner himself was also a game fan, and he was the distant cousin of the boy from Huang City. After discovering that this park attracted the attention of everyone in the internet cafe, the internet cafe owner simply moved the viewing screen on the computer screen to the big screen for other players in the internet cafe to watch. The boy from Huang City was best at the Ghost Tribe. Chij was best at the Corpse Tribe. The advantage of the Ghost Tribe was that the individual combat ability was very strong, the skills were also very powerful, and the requirements for operation and tactical thinking were relatively high. Sometimes it felt that the Ghost Tribe seemed to be at a disadvantage throughout the game, but often 1 or 2 powerful high-level Ghost Tribes appeared, and the situation was reversed. The Corpse Tribe mainly relied on numbers to win, and infection was their most powerful weapon. Through infection, they could obtain a large number of low-level soldiers, and high-level Corpse Tribes could even infect and transform the opponent's low-level soldiers. The human race mainly relies on technology and weapons and equipment to win. The development of biochemical technology can deal with the Ghost race, and the development of quantum technology can deal with the Corpse race. The overall design of the 3 races is very balanced, but the specific operation methods and technology development routes are completely different. When playing this game before, Jin Ke didn't think too much. After playing games for several years, Jin Ke is a little numb to 3 domains. But when he came into contact with this game again today, Jin Ke suddenly thought of the game Horror City. Biochemical technology refers to the biochemical camp, right? And quantum technology must refer to the quantum camp. Humans develop biochemical technology and quantum technology at the same time, use biochemical technology to deal with the ghost race, and use quantum technology to deal with the corpse race. Will the background of this game be related to Horror City? After Zig and the boy from Huang City selected their races, the park officially began. Zig appeared in the lower right corner of the map, and the boy from Huang City appeared in the upper left corner of the map. As soon as Zig started the war, he immediately sent the most basic soldier infectors of the zombie clan to the big city closest to his base on the map, spreading the zombie virus and infecting the people in the city into the basic soldier zombies of the zombie clan. Then he built a training base to train ordinary zombies into elite zombies. Next, he built a biochemical research institute to evolve elite zombies into various mutant zombies. Of course, he also built a virus research center to research more contagious viruses. Soon, a large zombie clan army was established. The ghost clan on the boys' side of Huang City seemed to be more deserted. He did not choose to develop in the nearby big city, but sent lonely ghosts to the nearby villages to find several places with particularly heavy yin energy, and let these lonely ghosts scare the villagers in the villages. The villagers became neurotic under the intimidation of the lonely ghosts, and then killed and avenged each other. The resentment formed by killing and revenge made some unjustly killed villagers become 36 kinds of primary ghosts after death, such as killing ghosts, cross-border ghosts, tree-dwelling ghosts, tomb-eating hot ash ghosts, wilderness ghosts, etc. These ghosts were brought back to the base to attack and devour each other, forming various evil ghosts, fierce ghosts, ghost generals, ghost kings, ghost emperors, etc. with different skills and higher levels. The number of ghosts is not large, but the quality. As long as the opponent's technology is not able to suppress the skills of a certain ghost, one ghost can often defeat the entire opponent's army. After a few minutes of infrastructure construction, the troops of both sides began to have sporadic contact. The main task of the corpse clan controlled by Zig is now to figure out the development direction of the opponent's ghost clan, so as to build a corresponding research institute, so that his corpse soldiers have the ability to be partially immune to the attacks of this kind of ghost soldiers. The ghost clan controlled by the boys in Huang City roamed around, harassing the corpse clan controlled by Zig, obstructing the expansion of the corpse clan army, understanding the direction of the development of the corpse clan technology, and destroying the various training centers and research institutes built by the corpse clan when they had the chance. As a veteran, Jin Ke is very familiar with the three races and three domains hegemony. After watching the park between the two sides for a while, he soon felt that the level of the boys in Huang City was higher than Zig. The subsequent development was not unexpected by Jin Ke. The ghost tribe of the boys from Huang City, while harassing Zig's corpse tribe in various ways, also collected enough intelligence, often cultivated some evil ghosts that the corpse tribe could not defend against, and knocked down Zig's corpse tribe troops one by one. The advantage of the boys from Huang City gradually expanded. After more than 10 minutes, Zig's corpse tribe troops became fewer and fewer, and the corpse city formed after the infection in his hands gradually turned into a ghost city. In the end, Zig had no troops to mobilize, so he could only play GG in advance. Zig was not convinced, and the second round of park between the two sides officially began. This time Zig still used the corpse tribe he was best at, but the boys from Huang City chose the human race. Zig lost faster in the second round. The technology of the human race developed very quickly, and they were immune to various targeted virus infections. In the end, the steel torrent rolled over the entire city and wilderness, cleared all the zombies, and approached the city. Zig played GG again. In the best-of-3 game system, Zig had obviously lost. However, the boy from Huang City gave Kaig a chance. That is, he wanted to play another round with Kaig, and he also used the corpse clan that Kaig was best at to have a final battle with Kaig's corpse clan. If Kaig can win this round, it will be considered that Kaig wins. If Kaig loses again, he will have to bear all the consumption of the internet cafe tonight. Just after the announcement of the bet, The players in the internet cafe called their friends to fill the seats, and even the snacks in the internet cafe were sold out. The overall consumption is estimated to have exceeded 5,000 yuan. This is obviously unbearable for Kaig, who only has a few hundred yuan in pocket money. Kaig's face is getting uglier and uglier. Losing this park is not only a matter of money, but also a matter of face. You know, in front of his friends, he relies on the game 3 domains domination to pretend to be cool. After today's defeat, he has to call the other party his master and kneel down. He will never have the face to come to the internet cafe to play again. He can't raise his head in front of his friends. The third round of park officially begins. After the first 2 rounds of testing, the boy from Huang City had a clear understanding of the fighting style of Zig's zombies. In the third round, he used a more aggressive fighting style to suppress Zig completely. Zig was beaten to a point of being completely breathless throughout the third round. He felt that the opponent had everything about him under control, but he knew nothing about the opponent's situation. Every local war was beaten to a disgrace. Just like the Chinese national football team against Brazil, they had no power to fight back. Less than 10 minutes into the third round, Zig called GG again. Chapter 475 Double. Haha, is this the highest level of Yunf number 19 middle school? The boy from Huang City was very proud after beating Cheej 3 times with a huge advantage. Cheej was not as good as him, and he couldn't say a word after losing. How much did you spend tonight? The boy from Huang City asked his cousin, the owner of the internet cafe. More than 5,000. The owner of the internet cafe answered the boy from Huang City. How is it? Do you want to fulfill the bet? The boy from Huang City looked at Cheej. You want to challenge the highest level of Yunf number 19 middle school? Jin pulled Cheej away and looked at the boy from Huang City. Oh, what do you think? The boy from Huang City also looked at Jin. Let's play 3 more times. If you beat me, I will pay double for tonight's consumption. If you lose, you will pay for tonight's consumption. How about it? Jin proposed to the boy from Huang City. Jin, are you crazy? He is very good. You can't beat him at all. Zij hurriedly stopped Jin. The 3 of them used to go to the internet cafe every week to play 3 domains for one night. Sieg knew Jin's skills very well and knew that he was the worst among the 3. If he couldn't beat the master, Jin was naturally no match. He was already at a disadvantage when he had to pay the 5,000 yuan. Jin proposed to double the compensation, more than 10,000 yuan. Where would the 3 of them find so much money? Not everyone can challenge our boss. I thought the first one was a bit good, but I didn't expect him to be so bad. Not even as good as me. Let's put it this way. If you want to challenge our boss, you have to beat me first. Another flat-headed boy with a Huang City accent came over and proposed to Jin. Challenge you? Then let's play a game. One game will decide the winner. If you lose, I will challenge him. Jin didn't care about it. The players present were of course watching the fun and didn't mind the trouble. Now that the stakes were doubled, they became more excited. Since the 2 sides had reached an agreement, they stopped talking nonsense and immediately sat in front of their computers. The flat-headed man also chose the Ghost Tribe. His gaming skills were not as good as the boy from Huang City. He also learned his skills and tactics from the boy from Huang City. Jin chose random. Seeing Jin choose random, the players in the internet cafe couldn't help but reveal strange expressions. Those who choose random in this kind of game are either very bad rookies or masters with extremely high skills and great confidence. In their opinion, Jin obviously belongs to the former. Cheej and Junyi also sighed. It seems that their thoughts are the same as other players. They are not optimistic about Jin, and what makes them different from other players is that they know Jin very well. Jin's operating level is indeed good, but he has played this game very little and lacks experience. The 3 of them played together last week. It is impossible for Jin to improve so much in a week. When the boy from Huang City saw Jin chose random, he showed an interested expression on his face. It seemed that he was wondering whether this challenger was a very novice or a master with particularly high skills. Judging from the worried expressions of his 2 companions, this person's level should not be very good. Jin randomly chose the human race. Compared with the ghost and corpse races, the operation difficulty and tactical thinking of the human race are the most difficult. Whether it is reconnaissance or technological development, the human race will be severely suppressed by the corpse or ghost race in the early stage. Once the route is wrong, if you are not careful, you may not be able to develop at all. If the human race cannot develop, facing the corpse and ghost races, they will only be slaughtered. Players need to practice for a long time and accumulate rich combat experience before they can play the human race well. The battle between the two sides began. Jin Ke appeared in the lower right corner of the map, and the flat-headed man appeared in the upper left corner of the map. This is a medium-sized map with a total of 3 cities, 1 large and 2 small, and dozens of mountain villages. The tactical thinking of the flat-headed man inherited the tactical thinking of the boy from Huang City. They also adopted the strategy of surrounding the cities with the countryside, and harassed the villagers everywhere in the countryside. Jin Ke also adopted a very orthodox tactic, quickly sending teams into 3 cities to recruit migrant workers and soldiers. The game started at noon, and it entered night 3 minutes later, and then turned to day again after 6 minutes of night. Daytime is of course more advantageous to the human race, and at night, it is advantageous to the ghost race. In the war between the human race and the ghost race, if the human race cannot resist, the victory or defeat is often decided within 6 minutes of the night, or there is a huge gap in strength and then it is defeated. Jin carried out various operations slowly. He sent out batches of soldiers or civilians to scout everywhere in the map in the form of a single body. The purpose of doing this is of course to understand the development direction of the ghost race. After these soldiers arrived at the territory of the ghost race, they basically went there without returning, but they could bring back information about the development of the ghost race to him. After a reconnaissance, Jin quickly figured out the tactics of the flat-headed man. There was no difference from the tactics of the boys in Huang City before. For Jin Ke, who has played 3 domains for several years, he knew exactly what the flat-headed man would do next. At this point in time, 3 domains has only been out for half a year, and many mature game tactics have not yet appeared. It will take 1 or 2 years for them to gradually take shape and be summarized by players. These mature tactics can easily crush this kind of random development operation in the embryonic stage. Jin Ke did not want to expose too much strength in this park. With everything under control, he did not allow himself to have too much advantage. He pretended to be evenly matched with the opponent. In the end, Jin Ke used a very mature sneak attack tactic to destroy several important resource points of the Ghost Tribe. After losing several important resource points, the Ghost Tribe turned into a disadvantage. The flat-headed man was obviously not convinced, thinking that he was too careless and negligent, which led to this mistake. He fought hard for more than 10 minutes before typing GG. The audience felt that Jin Ke's technology had no advantage over the opponent, or was even weaker than the opponent, and he defeated the opponent by taking advantage of a trick. After watching the whole battle, the boy from Huang City showed a very relaxed expression on his face. In his opinion, Jin Ke was just so-so and would definitely not be his opponent. Qi and Junyi were very nervous, and they were sweating for Jin Ke. In their opinion, Jin Ke was able to win this park, at least exerting 200% of his strength, and then succeeded by chance. If there is another game, Jin Ke will definitely lose. Okay, he has been defeated by me. Can we start the park? Jin Ke proposed to the boy from Huang City. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.